Hello and welcome to the Crow's Nest. My name is Brandon Kane, sitting high atop my tower on a 60-foot schooner, up and down over the waves of the Pacific Northern West Ocean, watching my Mariners play. Welcome on in. Appreciate all the new subscribers to the channel. We got some Saturday night baseball. It ain't the disco. It ain't the club. It ain't the bar scene, but it might be something even a little bit better tonight. We shall see indeed. Been very hyped up lately watching my Mariners play, which is pretty good because I've not been as hyped up as watching my Seahawks play lately. So it's been a little easier watching this team and a little more to kind of turn over there that's fun and nice to see. And though it's been a few days since I've streamed last, our Mariners have not lost any of their steam as they do continue to get it done here in as far as winning series and taking this opening game against the Raiders against the A's last night. And Julio's up first here. He hits a ball into the corner to lead things off on an 0-2 count. He is rounding the bases, heading for third, sliding in, and he will make it. All right, that's a little bit of what you've been seeing lately with this team. That kind of energy, even from the jump here. And Julio, of course, it's no coincidence that he is the igniter at the top of the lineup. Gets down 0-2, fights off a pitch, then just goes right with it, as we've seen him so willing to do this year. Not just a pull yank hitter kind of guy. He will go with it, especially when he's in a 2-strike count where he's trying to protect. But still puts a great swing on that, drives it in the gap out there and right. And boy, he was on his horse right from the jump. Long striding his way into third base. He takes about four steps from second to third is about all it took on him. This will bring up France now. Already some early fireworks here. The Mariners last night putting 10 runs up on the board on the A's. Eugenio Suarez with 2 home runs. Sticks are starting to come alive at the best of time. 0-1 here now. Inside ball. And Devin Martzall, it's going great, buddy. I hope you're doing well as well. We get a little bit of some fun stuff to talk about tonight. Tomorrow I know it's going to get a little bit. I'm already anticipating the chat tomorrow on the Seahawks channel side of things is going to get probably a little dicey over there. But at least we can enjoy the Mariners right now. 1-1 pitch here to France. Ooh, good eye on his part. That was a borderline slider there, and he was able to hold up. Well done. Very well done. But impressive game last night. Marco came out, gave up a couple early runs, settled down. And the Mariner lineup just kept coming. 2-1 pitch here to France. Let's see if he gets something to hit. Another slider. Pitcher did not give in. This is hit up into the air. This might be deep enough to score Julio. He's going to give it a try. He's coming into the plate, and he will score standing up. So the sac fly gets it done. Nice job by Julio with that big grin, smiling away here, as well he should. Again, the igniter continues to do what he does best in that respect. So love having this guy bat and lead up for this. I'm sure in the long-term future, that's probably not where they will eventually, have him set. But for now, I like Julio in that spot quite a bit. So 1-0 Seattle here. That's what you want to do on a team like this with the A's, right? They're already, this is a long season. We're kind of done. When's this going to end? Get them down for a few runs right off the jump. Get them already ready to think about, how fast can we get this game over, And Winker pops this one up. Center fielder running in, and he's got it. Last of my details set here. Last of my things set here. And this will bring up Mitch Haniger, swinging a mighty warm stick since he has returned from the IL. Been everything that we had hoped he would be for this lineup and more on his return. He takes a first pitch strike. You just You'd really hoped he could come into this and be a guy to settle things down here in the middle of the order. Not from necessarily a power standpoint, just a productivity standpoint. That's a 94-mile-an-hour fastball on the outside part of the plate. 0-2. I'm going to call this guy Cap Perez. That's way too many syllables for a pitcher's last name. Swing and a miss. 95-mile-an-hour fastball at the top of the zone. And that will end the inning. But Capper leans shaking his head because he got thunderstruck by Julio. Nice job, Julio. Nice job. Well, that's a good little start for us. But we're starting to see the sticks heat up a little bit. With again, you get Winker and Eugenio in here starting to roll along with what you get back here with Mitch Haniger. Sam Haggerty has continued to be just an impactful kind of force within this lineup. Again, by just sheer productivity. By the sheer point now, you just remove these points in the lineup that had been these black spaces, these dark spots you got into where everything's good, and then you're in the black hole. The black hole sucked you in, and now even if you got guys on second and third, runners on base, the black hole takes you into the next universe. And you had about 2 or 3 of these black hole points in the lineup, and now we're only kind of down to really the 1-2 at the most. And it is encouraging to see from my standpoint. And again, gives me hope here as you look across the league. Like I told you guys on this, you want to be the team that's rolling at the end. You want to be the team that's hot at the right time of the year. Do the Yankees feel like they're at their hottest right now at the right time of year? You know, this is the game you play a little bit with it within this sport. Any sport, frankly, is the part that I think we fans will forget about because we'll get them starting out a month into a season or 2 months. We go, okay, well, that's what it is. There's a long year for this to come back around and actually figure out. But if we could get to the playoffs hot with this rotation, with this bullpen, and by really hot, I mean the lineup hitting reasonably well. Sector 7, what's up, man? Good to see you. Very good to see you. Wu-Tang, it is nice to see the bats going here now. My coffee here. I was hopeful these bats could just come along to just enough. Just all they've got to do is come at just enough. You're not going to have to come out there and be a 5-6. Wow, the A's really like their Red Bulls. The whole dugout was like shotgunning Red Bulls. I guess when it's been a long year, you got to do what you got to do. They literally had these little cans of Red Bulls they're shooting right before the game. Okay. As I drink my coffee, but it is nice, Wu-Tang, to see them starting to roll here. If these guys can just get to near, Eugenio's been fine because he's still strike out a lot. He's a free swinger, but you know he's going to give you 30-plus home runs, good defense. He runs actually all right, too. Gilbert misses outside. We'll see if Logan can kind of settle down in this start a little bit. He has had some troubles here lately in his inconsistent ball location. And you see it right there off the jump. That's a fastball, dead center of the middle of the plate, and Kemp hits it on a line drive out to right field. He's had a hard time lately keeping out of the middle of the plate. That's been Logan's really great undoing, and it's not that he's living in the middle of the plate. He's just finding the middle of the plate at the worst of times. Misses 1-0, misses 2-0. Now he's got to come find a strike. Place you're going to go look for a strike most is in the dead center portion of that plate, and there's a hitter there waiting dead red. Seth Brown steps up here for the A's, hitting .229 with 17 home runs on the year. Logan drops in a knuckle curveball there for a strike. Sector says, big fan of this lineup as of late. Bats are starting to wake up for sure. Boy, they are. They are, and it's Mitch with France in there. 2 guys in there that are going to do a lot of the similar things in their approach at the plate. And then around that, you have Crawford, Rodriguez, then a little bit of the ups and downs of the Winker, Eugenio, Cal Raleigh, but then the 300 batting average of Haggerty at the bottom. And it's a lineup you can start to see form that can be very tough on pitchers. There's speed in there. There's good contact in the middle of the lineup, which normally you get more of the strikeout in the middle lineup, typically in middle of the order type places. And It makes us dangerous for the playoffs. I really do. 1-2 count here on Brown. Gilbert from the stretch, low. Avery Sutherland, what's up, man? It's good to see you in here. Says, really glad we aren't in the AL East. That division just beats up on each other. Boy, do they ever. I'm sure you guys were seeing the highlights of that Yankee game. The Yankees were doing, they were laying out for balls. They were doing everything they could. 2-2 pitches foul back there. 97 miles an hour on the gun. But you're watching Judge make a great play, and then the fielder run into foul territory, and then they just missed a play, but it looked like Blue Jays still got him. So we don't get any Haggerty tonight. Looks like they're going to have Lamb out in right field. Hags has earned himself a little bit of a rest, no doubt about it. Two. Runner not taking much of a lead from first. That ball's hit hard, deep, right at Lamb. Another pitch looked like trouble early on there. But Lamb was, that's where that advanced scouting stuff, you see that in baseball, fielders and outfielders especially in very specific spots. You go, man, that stuff, I always lean to that where it's like, they're just must be placing these guys in this exact place they want them to be. And you see the fielders take out their cards post-play as though they're looking at the scouting report of where to position for the next batter. Because he was shaded pretty hard as a pull, like a pull hitter would do with lefty there on a line. And he was right there as though he had set up there. And then he told the hitter, okay, hit it here right where I'm standing. They're so good at that now more than ever. I mean, in baseball, they used to just play things straight up or shaded. And it's a 1-0 count here to Murphy. Knuckle curve. He hits that back. 1-1. But Avery, I'm with you, man. I'm glad we're not in the AL East. That's Orioles, Blue Jays, Devil Rays, and then the Yankees right now, who are a little bit of like a wounded animal, but just you can see they're still fighting ferociously to sort of still keep their spot. And the only thing I can hope from all of this is hopefully they all tire themselves out by the time we get to the playoffs. The 1-1 pitch is going to be low and a little bit outside, 2-1. Big Country, how you doing, Big Country? It's good to see you, brother. Spectre, realistically, I think we win the first wild card series and put up a fight in the next round. That sounds realistic is the word to say. That's very realistic, I think. 2-1. Inside. 3-1. Gilbert a little bit wild on his landing there. Really kind of falling off balance. He's trying to grow a little bit of the goatee for this start to maybe snap a little bit of his troubles. And hey, I'll tell you, facial hair helps. It just does. 3-1 pitch. Batted up into the air. This will be playable for the second baseman, Frazier, who's all over it. A bright day today in Oakland. That green grass is nearly reflecting the orange sun right back at it. Big Country says Yankees being bad isn't good for us. I believe we beat the Yankees in a divisional series as of right now, at least. Yeah, I mean, I think we could get them right now how they're playing right now. But this is also that part we've got to caution, even with where your Mariners are right now and how good they're playing. This is 2 outs now, runner on first. Vogt up. Vogt. Is it Vogt or Vought? I want to say Vought from the series of the boys. I want to call him Vought. I'm calling him Vought. That sounds funner. He's even got an evil beard. 0-1 count. Knock foul. Looks a little bit like a chubby Sean Bean. Yeah, 37 years old, still playing ball. 0-2 count here. Gilbert with 15 pitches in the inning. Hits it up into center field. Julio is right on it. No problem. So a couple of hard struck balls in the first inning off Gilbert, but no damage done. And Big Country, I mean, that's where I do, like you say, you caution it out. We got 10 more days left in this month. We got 30 days left in September. There's still plenty of baseball games for a team to go through ebbs and flows, ups and downs, be hot right now, and start getting into icy cold territory right at the time the season ends. You want to be in that place where you have the team really on the upward trajectory, I think, as much as you can control. I think in other sports you can do a little bit more of controlling that. In baseball, it's a little bit hard. You just got to hope that you've done well enough. To me, the one place you can control on is managing usage. And even a game like this, giving a game like this for a guy like Haggerty, letting him not have this game off, giving yourself some breathing room in that first playoff spot is another component of this, because then you can start to rest other guys throughout as we get closer and closer down through the season. Guys like Raleigh, who played a lot of innings. So that'll be something I think that can help them as well as get to that hot spot. I'm okay with the Yankees struggling, though, because I want them to expend every bit of energy it takes to hold on for their dear lives just to keep the division. And I think if you put them in that position where they're having to do that, that means you're not getting them necessarily at full bore, full go by the time you get to maybe a playoff series where you have to play them. Could be presumptuous on my part, but that's my mastermind theory at play there. Big Country says doing good. Just got off the treadmill. Hell yeah. I didn't work out today. I went and played basketball today. I killed myself, man. That was 100 degrees here, and it felt like it was probably 80 in the gym. I was dying. Yeah, W. So in a weird turn of events, I kind of called this out with Brendan that Gino playing the first half would hurt him. Second half, he would have played four stringers. First half, he played second string and did zilch. If we start Gino, I don't think I can watch the season. I might just tune to watch the defense, but outside of that, it will be tough. I guess maybe our running game can be exciting. It's really well said, Daniel. It's really well said, and I'm struggling with a retort on it because it does kind of capture where really my mentality is with the situation as well. I am a guy that usually can find a fair bit of optimism. And Crawford steps up to the plate and takes a first pitch curveball for 1-0. I can usually find a fair bit of optimism when it comes to the team, especially a young team. And I'm hearing a lot of what some other people have been saying and that you hear. Crawford hits it up in the air, and this will go right to the center fielder. He's right underneath it, so that is out number one. And people will tell you that, well, this is an inconsistent year. This is a rebuild year. This is what this looks like. This is what you get when you have young players. This is what it looks like. But to me, there was a little bit of a bigger breath here at play that I kind of wasn't as ready to see. I didn't expect Gino to play that badly. Whether he's playing first, second stringers, that's just the Chicago Bears. It's it's probably the worst roster in the NFL right now. No Raekwon Smith. He should be able to be proficient against that defense and not need DK Metcalf to do so. I'm not looking for him to light the world on fire, but it almost goes beyond stats. I'm a guy that's like, I lean to stats, but it's also the eye test and how you look on the field. It's how you're commanding the offense. And when Jacob Eason is looking more in command of the offense, more in control, making more checks at the line of scrimmage, and this is going to be a 1-1 count here to Eugenio Suarez, coming off a multi-home run game yesterday. Power's been pretty consistently there with him all season long. Outside, ball two. Sort of surprising when you see the Mariners up there as a team and how many home runs they have. I think we're top 4 or something, top 3. Very nice eye by Eugenio. Good job by the umpire in this game. He's had a couple of calls that were been close, but have been outside, haven't been there, and he's not gotten fooled by the movement. High, ball 4. Good job by Eugenio. Seeing the ball really well right now. What an addition he has been to this team. And again, with his glove as well from third base. Part of what makes this one of the best, if not the best, defensive team in all of baseball. James Caprillion started out the first 2 months horrifically, and he has been nails the last couple of months. Frazier up to the plate now. First pitch, inside ball. Frazier hitting .249 on the year with 3 home runs and 30 RBIs. Got him to swing at a ball there. And Frazier safe at first. Frazier took there, but then couldn't. But Daniel, the way that Carroll had that team prepared and Geno Smith's play to me really, really bummed me out with what I saw out there. Both of those were like a 1-2 gut punch. And if we're gonna have to watch Geno play the position like that, he looked like a rookie to me. Looked like a guy that never played to me before. Christina, how you doing? Welcome on the chat. Welcome on the Crow's Nest. Hope you're having a good night. Sector 7, Gilbert throwing some facial hair. His true character is forming. Will be elite soon enough. The key is he's got to grow one of those. It's not even a Fu Manchu, right? Where it goes, you get a little bit longer off the chin, and then he's got to get it braided. That would be strong. Maybe a neck tat. I mean, he'd be a force to be reckoned with at that point. Wu-Tang, only AL team I'm scared of seeing this postseason the way that things are right now is the Astros if we're healthy. Agreed. I'm not fearful of anyone in the AL but the Astros. I know some people think Cleveland's or Minnesota. I'm like, we can beat those teams. Cal Raleigh steps up to the plate, takes the first pitch ball. Mariners with 2 outs. Frazier on first. Top of the second inning. The Mariners are up 1-0 here. Raleigh getting comfy. Rocking back and forth. Swings it hard down the line. He put that on a line, didn't he? Big Country saying Astros are a bad matchup for us. Yeah, they're just a good team, and they're in the middle of their run. Like they're in that spot where they're right at their probably at the kind of the back end of their height of heights right now, and they've still been there. They know how to do it. They've assembled that team very precisely here over the years to what it is. I think that they would be a problem for us in the series. I know we had the one good game against Verlander too, but it just seems like these Mariner bats, when you watch them, generally speaking, up against him, Raleigh's going to take 2 balls here. So we got 2-1. They just didn't seem comfortable with him. And if I've got to face him twice in a division series with a lineup that just was not able to, I mean, he would be throwing fastballs top of the zone, middle of the plate, pumping them over and over again. And the Mariner lineup just couldn't do anything with it. We just go, boy, okay. Raleigh, 2-1 pitch. Runners going. Frazier steals, and he is caught. Bam! Great throw by the catcher there. Tough pitch to pick it on, too, because that's a fastball. If I'm Frazier there, ooh, that was close. That was close. I don't know. Okay, Frazier goes a bit. Frazier pulled back his left arm to keep him from tagging his left arm, then slid his arm around the right side. The fielder then pressed the glove into his chest, but it's hard to see. Was he pointing back maybe instead of the catcher? Frazier was pointing back at service saying, challenge it? Yeah, he's in. He's in on this. They got a great angle on the super slow motion. And so he's sliding in like this. And this hand right here would be where the glove starts to come in from the fielder. He pulls back the glove and then widens his hand to hug it around the base. So the fielder has to come further along with the glove to tag him. And that extra time gave Frazier enough time to get to the bag. What a wonderful slide there. Big Country, that slow motion angle looked like he was in there to me. Because he doesn't get his first arm. He doesn't get the left arm coming in there. He pulls that arm back and then again wraps. And Frazier kind of knew it, I feel like, because he turned back and looked right at Scott and gave him the point, like challenged that. Sector says, I saw an article saying Locke was very sick per Pete Carroll. Hope he's okay. Really excited to see what he can bring. Me too. I mean, he'll come back from it, definitely, Sector, but the fact that he is as sick as he is, it means probably a little bit more recovery time, which means really no chance probably at week 1. And, you're looking at probably about even a month before that, month beyond that. So it looks like they are calling him safe. The play has been overturned. Yeah, I wasn't sure Big Country until that final angle they showed where they were just ching, ching, ching. It was super slow motion and high def, and you could see on that one where what a job by Frazier to pull his hand back there. It's the little things like that sometimes, the little extras you do. Scott Service making sure the umpire knows it's 3-1. Ethan McKinley Ratter, praying the Yanks have a strong September so we can meet them in the ALDS. I'd like some revenge for those late 90s Mariner teams, the early 2000 team. I'd like to get a little bit back. Even the scales a little bit, if you know what I mean. Raleigh up 3-1, wildly swinging. Mariner batters in this inning, Frazier and Raleigh have both done Caproline a little bit of favors here, swinging low and out of the zone here on him. That was ball 4. Raleigh will dig back in now. Perhaps he swung because he said, I don't want to walk. I want a home run. And good job there correcting himself. A very similar pitch to the last one that was just thrown that he swung wildly at. Out of the zone, far out of the zone. This one doesn't take the bait. He will take first base, though, because that is ball 4. Fargo Monkey, you're right, Big Country, but it's really hard to ever root for the awful team. I've always said that I'm a fan of the Mariners, and whoever's playing the Yankees. That's right. Well said, Fargo. That's 100% on point. Exactly. Who's ever playing the Yankees? It could be the Mets. It could be another New York team. I don't care. Jake Lamb steps up now, acquired from the Dodgers in a trade deadline deal. He's been okay for us. Shown to have been a pretty patient eye as he takes strike 1 there at the top of the zone. He's been a decent all-around guy for us. Certainly do wonder if you do happen to get back Trammell, if he's going to remain in this lineup at that point, if they would go back to him. 0-1, hit foul, 0-2. Fargo says, I hope the Hawks start Gino precisely because he is awful. The best possible thing that can happen is to lose a bunch of games, get a high draft pick, and to take a future franchise quarterback with it. So, if it goes that route, and it's part of why I'm going to have some piece to this season, no matter kind of how it goes, Fargo, I'm going to be in that camp. That's my fallback of why I'm going to have a little bit of a Zen approach to this year, is that, you sucking is not you wasting a year of a Hall of Fame quarterback in the middle of his prime, right? You sucking is not you wasting a year with an elite collection of talent all in the middle of their prime, ready to go do something. You sucking this year is sucking as part of a time of a rebuild. I'm okay with that. I sure would like to see the rest of the team energy-wise, if we just remove Gino from the equation, though. Energy, talent, new scheme, a lot of other things I'd like to start at least seeing better on the other end of that. I'm not going to lose my lunch over Geno Smith or Drew Lock not performing great. But that's the part that opened my eyes and did provide me a little bit of even after a couple of days now, is I'm very concerned. 1-2 pitch here to Jake. Hit up foul. This looks like it might be playable. It'll fall out of bounds. So Jake stays alive. Nice job. Sector says, I swear Frazier keeps Scott stealing. Well, he got that one in. He used some moxie there. It's a wonderful slide to get your hand pulled back there. It's like the opposite of a jab, He had to pull that sucker back right live wire as he's sliding. 1-2 pitch here to Lamb. Capperline's already up to 31 pitches here. Great pitch. Woo! Got a little bit of dynamic there at the end, but Kemp comes up and makes the catch out of left field. That will retire the side. Mariners threaten. Mariners make the Athletics a little nervous, but they can't get anyone home. They will still hold on to the 1-0 lead. Excellent pitch there, though, by Capperline. That's the first pitch he started Lamb out with the first at the start of the at-bat. Lamb looked at it. Obviously wasn't looking for something up there in the zone for where he wanted to attack with his pitcher, so he comes back of it on the money pitch. Nice job. Comes back that very same spot. And Lamb showed you why he probably took that pitch on 0-0. Big Country, I still want to have some success, 6 to 7 wins, but not against the high draft pick after what I saw on Thursday. That's where I'm again, you guys are succinctly putting it. I don't know if I could put anything else on top of that as far as a button, because that's right where my mind is at with it. I did want to see more wins this year because I don't like the tank idea, just because I don't know that, again, the light switch approach of, okay, we're going to be bad this year, so everybody, we're going to kind of manage you like we don't want you to be very good in our decision making. And I don't think you can lie to a team when you do things that show them that you're not truly competing. And then the next year you're going to turn it all on like a light switch. And that's the part where I'm hesitant to believe they'll be able to do that. I'm okay with a growth year. I'm okay with not being great. But did like Red Bull totally sponsor this whole game? Did they buy all of those guys drinking it in the dugout? Did all those guys get like a $5,000 check? Like, hey, look, all you guys shotgun a Red Bull before the game. We want them to they're sponsoring the Saturday night game. That was that's making me think they did that now. It's so weird. That's so weird if they did that. But I'm gonna have peace, Fargo. No matter what, I'm gonna have peace. Peace with this year, man. Just peace. It's gonna be, if it's gonna be like a medical procedure with no anesthesia. F it, doc, get the staple gun, let's go. You know what I mean? So be it. King Pookie Man Nation Alvarez. Is this a second channel? This is a second channel, yeah. There's a lot of football fans on that side of things that don't want to talk baseball and they don't want baseball games and that type of stuff. And the other thing is, if I did this on the football channel, we would not be talking about the Mariners at all. It would be 3 hours of me talking football. We talk about talking football in here, don't get me wrong, but I like the separation too. So, because then we can kind of bouncing back between both. Chad Pender up to the plate, quickly takes a 1-0 pitch here from Gilbert. Now it goes to 2-0. Gilbert's still just, boy, is he trying to work fast. Ball 3. Oh, Alvarez, are you saying is this my second? Do you have another channel? Yeah, my main channel is the Hawk's Nest. So I do a football channel as my main. That's my main gig. Strike. Oh, Pender's showing up blue. Pulling off the gloves all smooth, dropping the bat before he even waits on the call. Blue's going to get him back here with a borderline call. That was on. That's on the zone. 3-2 pitch here. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Logan able to fight his way back. Still a little bit of an all over the place. Yeah. So the thing to watch a little bit here for Logan Gilbert as you watch this game, notice at times where Raleigh will be setting up on the outside part of the plate and how often that pitch is drifting back into the inside portion of the plate. There's a lot of movement on it that still allows him to get away with room for air there. But this is also what has hampered Logan Gilbert over the last few starts, is that he is not, the ball is not ending up anywhere near where the glove he's setting up. You saw it last inning with Kaepernick, him hit the glove spot on that key pitch to Lamb to close out the inning, where here you're seeing Raleigh, and I've seen this on a few starts with him, where Raleigh's setting up in a spot and that ball's going, like that pitch there. Raleigh sets up outside low. That ends up high at the top of the zone middle. So he's getting away with it. This is when you're a power pitcher like Gilbert, of the major league starters out there, I think they're showing a stat right now. He's like 5th in the league with the highest average fastball velocity. You're going to be able to get away with it, not only because he's got the velocity, but he's got the movement with that velocity. But all that being said, this is when we're talking about why has he been in trouble recently? Why has there been issues with him? It's not because he's losing RPMs. Knuckle curve gets in there in the top of the zone inside strike. It's not because he's losing RPMs on his fastball, or that he's getting tired later on in the course of the game. It's that his ball placement's been inconsistent. And some of that I wonder is if a little bit is mechanical, because he's always got a little bit wild on his follow through, but he's definitely getting a lot of extra steps and falls to the side here after his pitches. 2-2 to Manchin now. 1 out. .97 top of the zone, foul back. Alvarez says, man, Seahawks got killed by my Bears. Yeah, they did. Yeah, it was a brutal game. Showing a little bit of his wind up there. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. He gave him old cheese express. Do you like it sliced? Do you like your cheeses sliced, Manchin? Or do you just want the whole loaf? Right down Main Street. And Alvarez, if this team plays like they played this last game throughout the course of this year, strike right down the heart of the plate again. 0-1. He's coming after him. Ball. But I do think if you're going to see that team replay itself 17 times this year during the regular season, that I don't know that he gets the benefit of the doubt beyond that. The fans would be in a revolt, I think. Especially if Russell Wilson's out there balling out of control. 1-2 now. See if he can strike out the side here. Batted to Crawford at the short. Scoops it. Rips it. Right on target. Out number 3. So a nice smooth inning of work there for Gilbert. He was able to kind of lock back in after opening up a 3-0 count on the first batter of the inning. That will take us into the third. Matt Beeler, let's go M's is right. Logan with a K. If he can strap back in here. And as I look at him there with it, if he can get back into a little bit of ball location, his stuff is still it's right there. Everything that's made him the pitcher he's been in, as great as he's been this year, is still right there in all of his stuff. But you've got to hit your spots semi-regularly, even if you're a power pitcher. And you can't miss wholly from one side of the plate to the next, because there's a reason that they have that catcher setting up in that position in the first place. As we've seen with Gilbert, it might even be that he's going from outside part of the plate to getting it far inside on a particular batter. But if that's the heat zone on that batter, that's why you have the Mariners staying away from him there. That's why he's not pitching. They're not setting up on the inside part of the plate in the first point. Big Country says Carroll is fine this year unless we go in 17. Maybe Big Country. I think if you went 2-15, 3-6, even 3-14, I think that's going to get again, understanding too, Big Country. If this is happening at the same time Russell Wilson is out there wrecking shop with Denver, people are going to be angry, because there was already a lot of people that were in that camp to begin with of supporting Russ over Carroll in this situation, and believing that Seattle should have hitched their wagons to Russ at this point and let Carroll go, as opposed to vice versa. And I think there will be a little bit more of that pressure at that point. Will it be enough to get him out the door? Maybe not. You're going to be the team's going to be sold within a couple of years. That probably is impacting the situation. Jody doesn't have exactly probably the money to want to be spending out of pocket just to give a coach $30 million to walk out the door, along with maybe the general manager in addition to that at that point. It probably won't happen, but again, that team looked unready to play football that last week. And they didn't look all that much better against Denver. They looked a little bit better in Denver overall, but not by leaps and bounds. So if we're going to see that team on a football field, I don't think the ownership of the fans or anybody else is just going to go, well, it's a rebuild year, it's a rebuild. I think there'll be a little bit of a revolt there. And Julio coming up, first pitch swinging. Boy, has he been aggressive since he's come back from the IL. Fouls that ball back. Sector 7, Logan Grilled Cheese Gilbert. I love it. That was the best one. That's the one I should have said. That was the one I was probably looking for in my head, and I couldn't pull it out. 0-1. Again, Julio just really free swinging here. And he runs it out. Julio swung at a ball that was down about around his ankles. Pretty routine grounder to third base. Third baseman got it clean. Let it rip to the first baseman, and Julio was still able to run it out. He's shown his legs early in this game already out the gate, how he can be an impact not only defensively, but not only with his bat, but also what he can do around the base pads. They're going to recheck with this. He might have been out on this. That was close. Yeah, he's out. The umpire was just caught by the glory of Julio there. He got hypnotized by the Julio. Like, the umpire was literally like over there humming, me and Julio down by the schoolyard. Me and Julio down by the schoolyard. Safe. He wasn't even looking at the play. He was just completely blinded. Labor Dragon with a pickle. There we go. Grilled cheese with the pickle's right. And Julio will be called out here. They're gonna overturn this one. Cool Breeze, first M stream after a couple of years on Hawk's Nest. Lifelong M's fan in the 90s and early 2000s, but admittedly, I've checked out until last year, but I've been following along and am genuinely excited. Cool Breeze, that's been the place that I've been as far as my Mariners fandom as well. I was highly invested in this team throughout my youth and into the early 2000s. And even through some of that early part of the 2000s. But as you saw mismanagement take place, as you saw the carousel of coaches and general managers come through, as you saw the ineptitude by whatever front office was in charge and how they were running things bear it out, I don't think I can blame anyone at that point of saying you don't just get to allow me to force my eyeballs to watch something that is horrible and 162 times a year or 100 times a year if you're only around to get that many games. And I think that they've got, I'm not saying the team has to be good for you to watch them, but they have to have at least an approach that you can understand what they're doing and that there's there's some strain of intelligence in there somewhere. It's not just all just from the seat of their pants. France 0-1 here. He hit a sac fly early on in 0-2. Mariner bats again, 1-1. Nice job by France to get that sac fly on after Julio's triple in the first inning. But I've come back for similar reasons, as you can see that the team is starting to do things smartly. And we'll see if that bears out results for them, as I think it will. Because I think there's so many shortcutters in baseball and people that are looking just to sign a contract and aren't paying as close attention to their farm system, that when you are paying attention to your fundamentals, that you are putting yourself in a better position for not just success, in the short term, but the long term. But welcome on in here, Cold Breeze. It's a little different. It's more laid back than our football streams, that's for sure. We won't have as much anger and flames and fire in the chat, I'm sure. I was thinking about the chat too this year in the football side of things, man. We're gonna have to strap in, folks, because it's gonna get a little hot in there. I'm gonna have to be playing peacemaker. We haven't be dumping buckets of ice on people. Chill out. France hits this ball foul. Still remain 2-2. Good job of staying alive there. That was a tough pitch in on his hands. Wu-Tang Financial says, got some seats right off first base Friday night against Cleveland. Hope Logan gets dialed in. I do too. We're going to need him against that lineup. That's a good lineup out there in Cleveland. Absolutely. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss right over the top of it. A breaking ball there. Breaking ball or a little cutter. France was right on it. Just couldn't look like quite time it up right. I'll quickly 2 down now here in the top of the third. Mariners up 1-0. Jesse Winker up to the plate. Outside ball. Those would be awesome seats, man. It's fun watching a baseball game that close up. The sports in general, when you get out of like the 300 sections and get down into those areas, it's just it's a whole nother world kind of watching the game from that view of things, isn't it? All right, 2-0 here now to Winker. Always does a good job of showing patience at the plate. Takes high. Probably should have been a ball there, but the umpire called it a strike, and Winker checks back with him and says, "You sure about that, Blue?" Boy, the Athletics look like a team in that dugout that's like, is the season over yet? Like one guy's lounging on the steps. He should be eating grapes by the way he's lounging on those dugout steps. He's kind of running his hand through the sand. And another strike call there on Winker at the top of the zone that, again, the pitch tracker on that one was even more egregious as far as that being a ball and not a strike. 2-2 here now to Winks. Low, ball 3. Gapperline is up to 45 pitches now here. Winker 0 for 1 in this game. Gapperline with a wind. Payoff pitch. Outside, ball 4. Gapperline cusses at center field. Center fielder says, "What'd I do? What'd I do? Why you effing me? Why you effing me? You're the one who missed." Oh, goodness. Stephen Cottrell, you think we are the 2017 Browns good this year? We just need Russ to get the vid all season to get the number 1 and number 2 pick for the 2023 draft. I don't think we'll be that bad, but with that said, you played like that bad of a team in this last. That ball's hit first pitch swinging there by Mitch Haniger. And that will be batted out foul, but that will be the third out of the inning. So some big-time aggressiveness here by your Mariner bats here in the early part of this game. Definitely trying to – everyone's just jumping on – I don't know if the pitches are looking meaty or if they're just being a little bit over-aggressive perhaps. I don't think we'll be that bad as a Browns team because we have heard rumors of them trying to purposefully tank during that time, right? I came out with the Dolphin stuff here as a whisper in the wind, so to speak. With that said, if you're going to be a team that was that bad, it comes by 3 different points. Maybe having a very young team, having a coach whose message is not being received by the team, so they're not really executing what he's trying to get them to execute, and he's kind of like theoretically lost the locker room. And then guys just checked out mentally that aren't engaged. And football is one of those sports where if guys aren't engaged mentally and they're not in it, you can tell. And I don't need to be in the locker room to know. And I saw a lot of energy and effort out there that was inexcusable. You can't play the game that way. If you play the game that way, you're going to lose. You're going to get injured. It's not good. And they're going to need to maybe the starters will have it where our third string and second stringers don't. But then we've got worries about the depth as well in this team. So that's not going to keep me up at night. But I want the team to play hard. If the team isn't playing hard, that's the toughest brand of football to watch. If the team isn't engaged and giving it their all, that's the brand of football that is Change the channel. In Big Country, I do wish you'd take a pitch too, though. I do. Greg, I really wanted Roquan, but now all of a sudden he wants to play out the rest of his contract. Looks like we're drafting an inside linebacker in the first round next year. Very well could be. That is certainly a possibility. And Greg, I'm going to be scouting a lot of inside linebackers this year. So you can count on that being a thing I take a very close look at in my lead up to next year's draft. No doubt about it. Ethan, hey, I moved in from my college dorm today at UW. Oh, nice, man. Well, hell yeah. You're going to have fun going to college down there, I'm sure. Always seemed like a cool area to go to college from, being so close in proximity to the city. What's up, Megan? How you doing? Good to see you. Says, morning, gang. Can't stay long. Celebrated my nephew's 3rd birthday today, so wanted to pop in for a bit. Well, hell yeah. Welcome on in. Just enjoying a little bit of the game here. Logan here with the first pitch at the bottom of the 3rd, and that's a quick swing. Eugenio already playing it on the grass, so doesn't have to wait for the ball to get to him at 3rd. And that able to get the throw very quickly over there to first. So nice fast out on one pitch. We like that here with Logan. Let's get Logan deep into this game. Sector 7 says Winker with the rare 6-ball walk. Yeah, none of those were strikes. Well said. Libra, I really miss my 2M season tickets. Cy, row 18, first base, directly across from the pitcher's mound. Oh, those were the days. Oh, those would be some tasty seats. Yeah, that would be nice. Beautiful summer day, beer, that close. 0-1 count here now. Logan's starting to maybe get a little bit locked in here. Which is good to see. 0-2. Cal Stevenson, the 9th hitter of the Orioles, up here. Oh, Cal drives this one into the gap, and that is going to indeed get down for 2 bases here. He'll have a stand-up double. Nice piece of hitting there. Shades of left-handed Julio type swing there. We're just put a good hard swing going with it. A guy like Logan, you're not going to turn the ball around and pull it. You just got to go with the pitch and use that velocity against itself. You know, one of the reasons Mark McGwire hit one of the longest home runs in the Kingdome history off Randy Johnson is because Randy was pumping in a 99-mile-an-hour fastball. You know, centrifugal force. What do they call that? There's some law of dynamics at play with that. I don't know what it was. I wasn't a school guy. Nice play there by Ty France. Again, first pitch swing by the A's. Ball's batted down the line. It bounces off of the first base, up into the air. France has got to show a little bit of that 26-inch vert off. Pick it up, throw it to Gilbert, who's doing a very good job of covering on the play. We'll call it a 13.5-inch vert. I can't go. That's not 26. That is, did he crack 10 inches on that, folks? I'm going to need Chad help on this one. That was a 10 incher there, 10 inches. That's the explosiveness of one Ty France right there. 2 men down now. Knuckle curve dropped on the inside part of the plate. Strike 1. I do like these A's first pitch swinging here on Gilbert. This works for me. D-Boy! What's up, D-Boy? I think I responded to your text the other day. I'm sorry, I had to work yesterday all day, D-Boy, so I was just piling through. I was trying to look up D-Boy, and we got no 2 count here now on Brown. He's 0 for 1. Runner gets his lead from third base. Gilbert takes a deep breath. Ball 1. I tried to see if I could do a poll on the other channel, D-Boy, for mods, and it doesn't let you do it. It only lets the owner in the channel do it. So what I'll have to do with that, D-Boy, is if you've got an idea for one when we've got during the football season, an idea for a poll, you just text me. You know, strike 3. Again, coming with a little bit of that grilled cheese, not grilled. That was grilled cheese. Coming fast with the high heater, and you're not catching up at 97 miles an hour at the top of the zone, top of the stack, top of the building, 6th floor. No thank you. Go back to the dugout. Go back to playing with your sand in the dirt as you languish there in last place. I shouldn't say that. We were just in last place. I'm sorry, Ace fans. But we're not there anymore. I'm going to celebrate. Very nice job there by Gilbert. As through 3 innings, he's given up 2 hits, 3 strikeouts. Looking a little more locked in today overall. Still had some ups and down spots with hitting his spots overall, but for the most part, he's been okay. That double there was definitely a pitch he got up and in again in the middle of the plate a little bit, but okay. Megan says, need to be convinced I need to see an M's game while in Seattle B. Talk me into it. Well, I mean, it's you're right on the ocean. There's it's really the experience of kind of going through the park more than it is like a football game where you're just going to be sitting in your seat really taking in as much of the game as you can possibly take in. A baseball game's more about, you're going to sit in your seat for some of it. You'll go get some food for some of it. You might go out to the top 3rd deck. There's this 3rd floor that looks out over the whole Puget Sound on the backside, and the sun hits it in the afternoon. Just go out there and you have a beer and just chill out there. It's refreshing, and there's no more beautiful view that you'll see than on the backside of that. And you've got a team in the Mariners right now that are playing really, really good baseball. And the thing you have to remember with this Mariners, Mariner Megan. That's your new nickname. The thing you got to remember about it is the fan base when it's engaged in Seattle, because we're not fair weather fans or bandwagon fans, but we are fans that are paying attention, and we like our teams, but when they are getting good, then you better believe they will have the fullness of our support. So this is going to be galvanizing the town a little bit at this point as the season starts to wind down, as it starts to get real, especially Megan, is a lot of unfortunately Seahawks fans may have to come to some peace with the fact that they're not going to maybe be potentially very competitive this year if we see more of what we saw last couple of weeks. So that's my best sales pitch I got for you on that one. It's good, as good as I got on that one. But I've always had a good time in every game I've ever gone to watch in that stadium. I was the same way though in the Kingdom too for me. So 0-1 here to Crawford. Fastball outside part of the plate in the top of the 4th inning here. Mariners have 1 hit on the game. Julio's hit to start things off. Inside, ball 1. Got to get props to the umpire in this game. He missed 2 calls on Winker at the top of the zone, but other than that, he's been very good on his strike ball calls. Both these pitchers have had some borderline pitches. Kapler's doing a magnificent job right now of hitting his spots. He's where that catcher lines up is where he's hitting that glove. These teams can be scrappy. I kind of hate it. Yeah, they can be scrappy. That's for sure. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 there on Crawford. Kaplerlin gave him probably 3 real difficult pitches to deal with in that at bat. A lot of movement. Just not a lot he could really do with it. Eugenio Suarez, first pitch swinging, drives this high and deep into right field. This ball just keeps carrying, bounces off the wall. The fielder is up with it. Eugenio is into third base. Boy, that ball just looked like it was a routine fly out to right field. Pinder felt like that out in right field. He certainly was setting up like, okay, it's right here. Wait, no, it's going to be a little back. Wait, a little more back. A little more back. It's going a little more back. Back. Gotta get my horse. What the hell? I can't see it. God damn, what have I done? And just runs into the wall. And Eugenio showing good hustle there all the way for 3 bases there. It's like Julio we saw he was going for 3, digging out for that the whole way. And Pinder just kind of misplayed it. Tough ball to read out of right field on a sunny day like this. Just Looked off the bat like nothing special. Frazier up to the plate now. Takes the first pitch strike on the outside part of the plate. Megan, T-Mobile is really close to Lumen, isn't it? It's literally next door, Megan. It's like you could almost like touch both stadiums at once. It's so close. 1-1. You can't literally do that, but it's almost like you could do that. Robbie Ray's awesome. He's awesome. No doubt about it. All right, 1-1 pitch here to Frazier. Frazier gets a good swing on this, and this drives him back into left field and deep. Kemp able to make a great play out there. This will bring the runner home, though. Nice job by Frazier. Frazier flashing some oppo field power there. The ball's kind of carrying today in that stadium really nice. It's got the balls are really kind of flying on out like it's a little bit the opposite you see in our stadium, where you can see these fielders as they're really often to get up on their horse late on those balls, where off the bat it looks like it should be going to one place and it ends up somewhere else different. But a nice job by Frazier there to lift that ball. Of course, it's always easier to lift it when you're trying to go opposite field than versus trying to yank the ball, especially when you get a pitcher trying to hit the outside part of the plate and get you to yank that and turn that over. He went with the pitch, used a good nice swing with it, and brought Eugenio home. So Mariners are doing a good job, which has been a rarity this year. Of course, hitting with runners in scoring position. You've had two in this game. You brought them home. Well, you've had three, I guess, in this game. You brought two of them home. Raleigh up to the plate, quickly taking 2 balls here for a 2-0 count. Ball 3. Kapperline continues to work here. And Raleigh already with a walk in his first appearance. So Kapperline being very, very careful with Cal. Strike. Cal takes there. Nice. I like that by Cal's approach there. 3-1. 59th pitch now for Kapperline there. Only in the top of the 4th. 3-1 pitch. Strike 2. Cal was taken again. That was a fastball down the middle. So he was taken, it looks like, all the way there. Big Country, Suarez with a triple. Never thought I'd see the day. He's not fast, but he moves okay. He tries. He's a good high effort runner. I was like that. I was a slow guy. Us slow guys, though, you gotta dial up a little bit of that effort. You gotta get those dogs kicking a little bit faster. And Jake Lamb on deck here with 2 outs. 3-2 count here to Cal Raleigh. Kapperline with a wind. Payoff pitch. Foul back again. Cal stays alive, and Kapperline continues to work. Big Country, Robbie Tight Pants Ray. That's right. They were showing that USA thing he was doing in practice there, a little shot of it on the telecast. You need guys like that in the clubhouse to keep things loose, man. It's too long of a stadium, too long of a season not to. I love me some Ray, too. Cal here, 3-2 pitch. Just a little bit underneath it there. He was right on the pitch. He did that deal where it's a low pitch, but he's ready for it, dropping that back leg in his swing. And he's got an idea what he wants to do with it. He was about one of those ones where it was going to be a dig-out home run by a Cal kind of shot. Just got a little bit underneath it, got a little bit low on that one, and knocks it out up into second base. But Seattle's able to play a little bit of game of tack on here. And now they got themselves out to 2-0. Kapperline up to 63 pitches in this game with Logan Gilbert only at 41. Megan says, okay, sorry for all the questions. Don't worry, Megan. It's all good. We're here to help. No need to get nervous. Can have some fun on this trip. Big Country offense has been much better than the numbers say. Very good start. Yeah, good start. I'm okay with it. They're showing a little bit more patience lately, which was the thing I was calling for, was just a little less of the free swinging nature of things at every turn. And it gets a little bit more patient with some of the guys you have in this lineup now. Like Mitch Haniger is great with his patience. Franz is great with his patience. Crawford's great with his patience. Julio will just about swing at anything. Cal's getting better. He's another one of those guys who's been free swinging for a large part of the season. Frazier's good about it. Haggerty's good about it. Santana is absolutely a free swinger. Spectre 7, Pepper Jack and Sharp Cheddar is going to be the next K. That's the next one coming. He's been serving cheddar and American and a little bit of Swiss. He's working through he's going to get the Gouda here eventually. Megan, no, Dick's is a place you got to visit. And it's not a metaphor. It's a burger place in Seattle. The Dick's over here, I will tell you guys, the Dick's in Spokane is a very sad Dick's. It's very, you drive past it out here in Spokane, you're like, man, this Dick's needs to have like the little icon, needs a little tear falling down its eye. I feel like just by the way it looks on the outside, like I'm gonna be getting like a wet bun. Oh! That's right back off of Logan Gilbert's tush. He got tushed. Gilbert seems to be okay. If you're going to take it anywhere, take it off that meaty portion, right? Logan kind of trying to rub it out a little bit. Scary moment there. That ball was hit hard right back at Logan. And the butt took all that. Oh, yeah. That's more than just a slap at that point. That's one of those ones that it's like, you're okay right now, and then tomorrow that's going to hurt so bad. He's not going to be able to sit down tomorrow, I bet. He's kind of trying to walk around there, a little ginger with it. I think he'll probably be he's grimacing a bit. And Seattle's signaling one of their bullpen guys here. Yeesh. Let's see. Looks like he's going to be okay. Big Country saved by the belt. Oh, is that what it is? A hit right off the belt? Boy, yeah, any higher there, you're talking about going off his back there too. That's just you've seen some scary hits back at the back of the pitcher over the years. And you just don't have the time to react, especially him, because he's so long, and he doesn't do like the Greg Maddux thing of on his delivery, post his delivery, he's set up like a positional player to catch it. He's kind of all a little wild on his follow through. 0-1 though, coming back here to Vaught. Bounces the ball, and Cal's able to keep it in front of him. I've been watching a lot of Steve Largent Zorn recently. I won't tell you where my mind goes after that. All right, here we go. Vaught up now the plate. Outside, but a nice pitch there on knuckle curve ball for strike 2, 1-2 here. See if we can get a double play ball or a strikeout. I just wanted to let B know we'll be at the Hawks versus Cards game together, so laughing out loud. Hell yeah. Megan says, you're aware I'm a vegan, right, B? Yeah. There's some vegan food in the stadium somewhere, I'm sure. Oh, right back at Logan. Nice job by Logan. Oh, Logan shows you the bulldog spirit inside of him. Coming right off of getting the ball hit right at him on the previous play. Batter hits this one right back at him. Shows a little flinch, recovers, catches the ball, turns back to second, helps to start up the double play. Eugenio with a great relay back over to first base. And you get your first quick, easy double play there. But nice gutsiness by Logan there. I'm going to tell you, it's instinctual. You can talk all day about being a tough guy. But you get a ball hit off you as a pitcher right back at you in a game, you're very aware of it rest of the game of another one coming because it hurts. It hurts really bad getting hit by that ball up the middle like that. Unless it hits bone, it's not going to really damage anything, but it doesn't feel good. And he stuck right in there on that comebacker. Gutsy Gilbert. This ball hit up into the air on a 1-0 count. Crawford's underneath it, and this should retire the side. So we are through 4 innings here. Mariners are up 2-0. Making end zone seats behind the post under the Mighty 12's flag. Best $500 Aussie I spent. Hell yeah, it's going to be a great game, Megan. I can't wait. It'll fun just being, it's been a couple of years since I've been in that stadium now. So it's going to be interesting just to get kind of a feel for everything and what's the temperature. Megan says, let's just say Jim Zorn is known as the chest of steel by me, B. Fair enough. Fair enough. I've never heard of him referred to as that, but I'm sure he'd appreciate that. Soldier 7 says, Go Cheese Gilbert does it again. That's right. I call him Gluteus Gilbert. Gluteus Gilbert Maximus is his nickname. You can beat him with all the baseballs as you want. He's just going to keep coming back, throwing the high heat. D-boy, Brandon, so you have this, this with a chance of going on a run again and breaking the record of 15. Brandon, we have a chance of going on a run again and breaking the record of 15 straight. Oh, do we have a chance of doing that at this point, D-boy? I would tend to think that there'd be probably a little bit of a tough part of pulling that off, because I think that there's going to come a point here as you round through August into the beginning of September where the team, if they continue to win, if they got 7, 8, 9 wins in a row, where they will start to look at how we now position everything to rest guys up for the playoff run and get guys into their right spots. So I think that could then impact it versus the previous winning streak where you were just trying to get yourself back over 500. You were doing whatever you could to win every single game. There was a little bit more of that urgency at that point. Now they might still just stay in that zone. It's possible, but it's hard to win 10 games in the Major League Baseball. It's tough to do that alone, much less 15. You know, it is a tough place to get to. But they are playing again, though. I will say to this, D-boy, they are playing a lesser schedule here now over the course of where we're going here over the next couple of weeks into next month even. Megan says Nolan's sitting to the right of us, B. Sweet. All right, Jake Lamb is going to lead things off here for Seattle. 0 for 1. He popped out in the second. First pitch swinging again. I guess the scouting report on Kaepernick, he will give you a first pitch fastball. So Mariner hitters have been really, really all over today. Versus more recently here, there's been a little bit more of a patient approach here. David Phillips, triples, sacrifice. Who are these guys? I know, man. There's an energy to this, David. There's an energy to this team, and it's forming together. And it's a thing that baseball teams would love to be able to manufacture and in the offseason put it together and have a general manager be able to form this just by the evaluation of his eye talent. But this is sometimes something that just has to happen organically from within a clubhouse at just the right time. And I don't know if we're fully to lightning in a bottle striking here, but we're getting very close to it with this Mariners team. And Julio first pitch swinging. Nearly kills Anthony Munoz in the bullpen. Oh, 1. Munoz literally almost got his head taken off, and he's really low-key about it. He's just kind of like, yeah, okay. He smiles back at Julio. Julio again swinging out of the zone, gets a base hit. Well, it's nice to be talented, isn't it? It is nice to be talented. You can swing at a ball 6 inches out of the zone at your ankles and find a way to somehow knock a base hit then through the side because you just have such fast hands and the ball just leaps off your bat. I mean, it says I know it's all padding, but damn it, that chest. Nice thick coat of chest hair, no doubt, on that early 80s Zorn, too. All right, Julio at first, 1 man now. Top of the 5th inning, 2-0, Seattle. Outside, ball 1. Kapperlin with a rare pitch, kind of wildly off the plate there. He's been pretty pinpoint in his location here today. And they're showing an interesting graphic here where Ty France is second in the league with the highest average in the 3rd time versus starter in a season. Meaning if he sees you 3 times in a year as a starting pitcher, look out. He's going to crush you. Julio gets his lead. Outside, ball 2. France hitting .288 with 14 ding-dongs on the year and 62 RBIs. See if he looks for a pitch in a location here that he can put a nice swing on. I'm looking outside fastball here. Well, they come back with another slide. Is that a change-up there? Change-up low. Not giving in to France, huh? Pitcher very well aware of the fact he's probably looking dead red fastball there. And that's also where you get France taken. Good part of him. Don't not my pitch. Let it pass. I have a 2-0 count. Let the umpire figure it out. 3-0 now. Kapperlin comes set. Julio gets his lead from first. Inside, looked like a ball to me, but I guess they'll go ahead and give him a strike on that one. Mark Havercorn, how's it going, man? Good to see you. Says, hi, all. How many you think there's something special between Megan and Brandon? No, we're not going down that road, folks. Cool Breeze, curious your thoughts on Jay Adams, and that's a walk to France now, so this will be first and second with 1 out. What was I just reading? I've been thinking about the same thing. Them's a new streak, says Libra. Well, no, I wouldn't be opposed to a new streak. I just don't want them to shoot their whole expend everything for a hot streak necessarily. I want them to prepare as they get around that September point. But hey, if they can reel off another 15 doing that, so be it. So be it. Big Country says Gilbert's been great. Don't care if it's the worst lineup in baseball. I don't either, man. He has been better today. Couple of hits, but he's doing okay. Thing that he's got a little bit of a tough luck with is he'll pitch, he'll hit those, he'll be on the outside, then the moment he misses in the middle of the plate, the hitters do not let him get a pass. He's not getting away from it when he's in the middle there, but he's not letting it's not all over the place in that respect. D-Boy, man, I messed that question up. Winker up to the plate now. Strike at the knees, outside, 0-1. D-Boy says, man, I messed that question up, and you decoded and knew exactly what I was trying to say, Brandon. You became a master of decoding gibberish. I got 3.5 years at it, D-Boy. 3.5 years of, people on their phones with the tiny little text type, and yeah, I'm gonna get good at it. Pretty soon people will be able just to type a sentence and just take out all the vowels, and I'll still know what they're saying. Oh, you know it. 1-1 count here to Jesse Winker, who drew, as someone said I think Sector said in the chat there, drew a 6-pitch walk in his last at bat because he had 2 strike calls that were not in the zone. 1-1 here. Hit up into the air, and this looks playable. Oakland's got a very big foul territory, and indeed they're going to put it out here. Another fly ball by the Mariners. So many balls lifted in this game on pitches. David says meshing it took a while, but it's happening. Something special, I hope. It's coming together that way, and I hope, like you do, you have the elements for it. To make a run in October baseball, if we're talking about a team that potentially could be a team to push for even a World Series kind of run this year, what do you need as your baseline to do that? And having a great lineup, having a lineup that 1 through 9 puts a pitcher on his back foot helps. And that's a curve ball there. Was that a curve ball or slider? His changeup has kind of some curve movement to it, doesn't it? A little bit of downward and kind of a little bit of a movement to it. 0-1 here to Mitch Haniger now. First and second, 2 outs. Julio gets his lead on second. Outside, ball 1. But the elements you really look for in October baseball that it can carry forward is great starting pitching, great defense, an ability to play some kind of portion of small ball and manufacture runs at times. It's rarely a team that gets in the playoffs in the World Series that just has a lineup of guys stacked through hitting, and Haniger swings at a pitch inside and look like that might be a little bit in off the plate, and he is only able to just knock that up into center. So Seattle does threaten in this inning, but not able to do any further damage. We will move now into the bottom of the 5th inning. So the mesh comes, David. You know, the mesh comes for me on that. The starting pitcher and then the bullpen as well. That was the other part that I forgot to mention. That's another big part of playoff baseball is having a bullpen that can come down and shut down those lineups that are those big, scary lineups. Bringing in those guys like Munoz that can go get a hitter at a point in time in the game and just there's nothing they can do about it. You can shut that spot of the lineup down in that part of the game when you need it, those high leverage situations. So I'm not predicting this team's going to be a World Series frontrunner, but we're quickly elevating ourselves out there in the AL from the rest of these other teams that are vying for that wild card spot. And we're definitely making a claim right now as we get better and better through the season, as we get deeper and deeper into the season. There's a claim to be laid here where we start to say, hey, are we not the second best team in the AL here? As the Yankees start to falter, as nobody necessarily in that AL Central is jumping forward as a juggernaut. And maybe we're not quite there yet. But I can see us on the pathway to going so. And if we run off another 8-9 game winning streak, I think you can make a very strong argument that you're in that position to do that. Cool Breeze, I would love to stay healthy until the playoffs. I could see us making the ALCS as a ceiling if everything clips. Hoping we can keep the energy. Me too. If you can keep the energy, if this energy can sustain regardless of where the bats are and whether or not a team has more talent than us on the lineup, I'll give us a chance against anybody if they can maintain this. Because it's, again, something that I think just organically comes together. And when you've got it, it's such a big help in baseball. It's such a hard factor to also really take into account because you can't measure it in a statistical column. You know, you can't pull it through that way. It's something you just sort of kind of feel. And you're starting to feel it with this team. It's a little bit of what you had felt with the 2001 team that just couldn't pull it off. Part of the thing with the 2001 team was, though, that you won the 116 games, and it was a little bit like what you're seeing from this Yankee team. It's like, you know, by the end of the year, you weren't necessarily playing your best baseball. And that's really where you want to have that eye towards. In some ways, you can't control it, though, too. You'd love to be. You can't control it. You just can't mark ducks and run. This ball's hit on the ground, sloughed. Frazier muffed it. He had a pretty relatively easy grounder there to second base on Gilbert's first pitch there. Just knocked it down and couldn't jump back on top of it. So the opening runner is on base here. That is tough to see. Ball took a little bit of a wonky hop there as it was going off the infield to the grass, but Frazier also kind of was a little low-key with it there. Good job of running that out, though, by the batter. Knuckle curve misses high, ball one. Megan has always had my back. I got her back too. Megan, D-boy, you know, you guys do that hard work in there as I got to do my thing with all the porn bots we get in, and then especially some of the fire that we get in on people that fastball outside quarter, 1-1. I don't say it enough, but I really do appreciate all you guys do to keep those folks out of the, when stuff does start to get flamey in there. A Niner fan comes in and looking to cause some trouble. Looking to stir up trouble. 1-1. Runner on first. Gilbert out of the stretch with another knuckle curve there in for a strike. Nice job. Gets him at 1-2. Big Country, that's the problem the Yankees have. They seem to live and die by the home run. Exactly. And that's something that can go cold in October. You know, you get into the depths of oh, man, that ball's going to be trouble. And we got first and third. That's a base hit out to left field. So the A's have something working here. That opening error in the opening inning with nobody out by Frazier, that's brutal there. Not that he was trying to do it, but how about Albert Pujols hitting home runs back with the Cardinals again? Boy, he's gotten big, hasn't he? He's got that. He's got to be a big boy. All right, nobody out. High, ball one. Definitely want to limit the damage here and try to at least maintain the lead. We are getting to a spot here where we can start to eye towards the Mariner bullpen. Obviously, you'd want to see Gilbert get through some more innings here. He's only at 55 pitches, and he's not getting shelled. This ball's hit hard opposite field. Haniger is running up, plays it on a hop. Jake Lamb, plays it on a hop. Right field must be very hard for them to play right now. These right fielders just can't see the ball coming off the bat with the sun. This is an odd time of day to be playing the game as they were there in Oakland. You don't see a lot of 405 times at this point. You're kind of seeing why. Fielders can't see the ball off the bat. We had this happen with Eugenio Suarez's play where he hit the ball off the bat and he couldn't see where it was. Same thing happened here where Lamb just sort of wasn't sure where the ball is. He doesn't run very hard up on it where he might have been able to make a catch there. Just can't get a tracker on where the ball's at. Yeah, we can't give Lamb a hard time here. Like I said, you saw this on the Eugenio Suarez triple. Same thing happened on that play to that fielder. They can't, it's a 405 game. Look at that sun right now on the telecast. They're showing a great shot of it right now. That's what the right fielder's seeing when the ball's hit off the bat, is that sun barreled into their eye. And this is why you have on a West Coast at times in these stadiums, and we're going to have a nice bunt here, which will get the runners to first and second now. Good job of small ball there by the A's. That will be the first out of the inning. Runners on second and third now. But this is why in the West Coast you have games set for 7 o'clock. So that in these stadiums that the sun has completely set and it's not going to be a problem there. And yeah, he points to his eyes. Nothing he can do about it. Nothing you can do about that. Megan said, what's not to love about Larchin? I mean, he's our founding father and goat. You better believe it. Better believe it. All right, 2-1, one man down. Back up the middle, base hit. This is going to score 2. Tough, tough, tough. Good piece of hitting there. Just right back up the middle. 3-2, Merritt, 3-2. Well, Gilbert hasn't pitched really bad in this game. I will say this is another pitch where when he gets hurt when he's going to be in the middle of the plate, and when he gets middle of the plate up. He's got to get out of zone if he's going to hit there, and when he doesn't, whether it's bad luck or not, that just anytime he's getting to the middle of the plate, hitters are hitting it, versus other pitchers who can get away with it. We've seen that at times with our Mariners lineup where pitchers will have right down the middle and they'll just swing right through it. Nobody is swinging through Gilbert when he misses right now in the middle of the plate. Nobody is. And that's tough on him where there's not a lot of room for error at that point. All that being said, though, he's got to work a little bit harder here to stay out of that spot, because once he stays out of there, whether he's on the inside or the outside part of the plate, up or down, he's able to be effective. But coming back into the middle of the plate there, that's where it's starting to get him a bit. Here's the pitch. Hit back, foul. 0-2 here now to Brown. One man down, runner on first. Steven says, man, leave it up to Gilbert to throw these games. Gilbert had some rough, tough luck. It's a little more tough luck in this one, I'd say, Steven. In previous starts, he's definitely too often and too consistently left that ball in the middle of the plate and missing with his pitch location. It's not been as bad in this game, but again, when he does miss, he can't miss in the middle because hitters, whatever reason, see it real well when he's going to the middle of the plate. Ethan says Logan needs to get rid of that goatee. It's that, or you got to grow it big and thick. It's the only way it'll work for him. Tables have turned in this one. Big Country, well said. Strike three. Logan got him on that one. Nice job. 4th K of the day here for Logan. Just very nice movement there. Got that pitch low inside. Well done. He's got some really pretty pitches where he's got it right where you want him to put it, and then just comes back and then will suddenly miss right down dead red in the middle of the plate. Sean Murphy up now. 2 outs, bottom of the 5th inning. Inside, almost hit him. Sarah Smole. I'm a Cards fan, but I'm hoping the Mariners make the playoffs. Thank you, Sarah. It does feel like we've got a little bit of mojo from the national major league fan bases out there. Kind of hoping we can do good. There's a lot of folks out there going, I hope the Mariners get in. They've had a long time here. Let's let them get in. So I appreciate it. We need all the help we can get. We need all the support we can get in this respect of things. So I thank you. Hopefully we can pull this off. We feel really good about this team, and not many of us have felt very good about this team in quite a bit of time. And congrats to you guys, too. You're getting to watch having Pujols come back and mash for you here at the end of his career a little bit. That's a really nice story to him as an end. It's much better than watching him finish off kind of strangely with the Angels. Inside, ball. Boy, I don't know. Gilbert's got a thing here against Murphy, but he's throwing 2 pitches right up inside on him. Spectre 7 says, I want that 1%. I want that wild card, number 1 wild card so bad every loss will feel awful to me. I feel you, man. It's getting late in the year. St. Just now, hey, we're in a long marathon. We're going to be getting down to the home stretch here. And that ball's hit up into the air. Looks like Eugenio is there in foul grounds. He's all over it. That will retire the side, but your team got a little bit laid to waste in this inning. 3 runs given up. The Oakland Athletics take back over the lead. See if your Mariners, as they head through the bottom of their lineup here into the next inning, will be able to bounce back here. Tough inning there for Gilbert. Sarah, 691st home run. Cool to see. It's cool to see. You like to see the legends finish with the teams they started first, going through 6-7 teams. You know, we got that a little bit with Griffey at the end, where you still got that one last kind of year with him here at the team, which was really cool to see. And it's just nice. You'd love these guys to spend their whole careers with the one team. You understand why it can't happen, but nonetheless. Libra Dragon says he's shown some timing or balance issues from what I've seen. It is temporary, still hanging tough. Time for M's bats. Yeah, I don't see anything that's wildly needs correcting that's just horribly off. He just kind of feels like a little bit needs his calibration needs to just lock in a little bit better. I still maintain I don't think it's stamina. I don't think it's the long season getting to him. Just happens to be in a rough patch right now where he's trying to kind of find his control a little bit. It's going to happen over a season like this when you have 30, 33, 34 starts in a year. I still, even in this game with those 3 runs, it's 5 innings, 3 runs. That ain't bad. And, only 1-2 of those runs are earned there. That's on the back of that error of Frazier there. So he's not been bad. Dan DeCastro, Mariners will obviously make the playoffs. Never mind hope, and you can beat the Yankees, but the Jays in wild card series will be tough. Jays would be tough. You never know in the playoffs, and there's good teams once you get in there. Those are all legit teams. I like our chances though. Fraternal Cloud, horrible defense that inning. Yeah. I think the Lamb thing was a little bit understandable, but the Frazier one was just a bad play. That ball wasn't hit anything really that oddly. It took a little bit of an odd bounce, but he doesn't have his body up in front of it really there. He's kind of a little bit casual in how he's set up there a little bit in front of the ball. Big Country Pujols is the second best hitter this century. Yeah, I think that's probably right. I can't think of who's been better. Yeah, I'll go with that. So the Athletics are going to make a pitching change here. Kaepernick goes out. They want to bring out the lefty here against Crawford. Puke comes out to pitch now. I guess it's Puck. AJ Puke. Puke and his Amish beard have been very tough this year. Crawford hits it high, deep to center field. It will be a fairly easy play out there for him. 1 man down. Crawford 0 for 3 in this game. So Kaepernick pitched a really good game for the Athletics. Odd timing to sit him there. He only had 78 pitches thrown, 5 innings, 2 earned runs, and given up only 3 hits. Maybe it was the 4 walks. But the Athletics going into their pen early. Interesting. Big Country says maybe Bonds, but roids. Yeah, I'm one of those people that when it comes to Bonds, when it comes to Rafael Palmeiro, when it comes to Roger Clemens, I may stand alone on this one, but I sit on the stand of saying, I don't care that they were good before they quote unquote took the steroids. The effects of the steroid era, not only in, messing with the stats, the hallowed stats of baseball, but then also with the effect it had on the young kids, with the way that it had the effect on how the hitters played and hit coming up after. We're still seeing the residue from the steroid era even today, 20 years later. And so guys like Bonds or McGuire or anybody in between, I just go, yeah, you've lost me a bit there. Right fielder having a hard time making the play again out there on Eugenio's hit to right field, but he does make the catch for 2 men down. You can see him just fighting it over there. And Amish beard Puke. It's like, man, you had me worried there, buddy. It's like, I know, I had me worried. Can we stop playing games at 5 o'clock where I have to burn out my retinas in order to catch a fly ball? That'd be great. Sector 7, never trust the Mariners will make the playoffs until the last game. We should have gotten in last year with 90-plus wins. That's probably true. Job the Haviland says Ichiro is the best hitter. Oh, Frazier gets hit up inside, and he will go to first. Mariners, again, just a team that gets hit so often. And it's not like Frazier was leaning up over the plate. He was off the plate pretty good. The guy just missed on the pitch. This will bring up Lamb now. Lamb has already left 2 runners on base here. And, ooh, right in on the hands, too. Ow. Hopefully he got his knuckle or something there maybe. It looked worse than Frazier's reacting. Fraternal Cloud Kemp kills the Mariners. This is pretty good against us. Dan DeCastro, not here to troll. I'm a Jays fan, scoreboard watching. Might as well hang out. Enjoy your commentary. Cheers. Well, thank you, Dan. I always say all are welcome in here, man. So we just like talking, as I do on my football channel on this baseball side, just like talking baseball. So any and all fans are welcome on in here, and appreciate that. I think your Blue Jays are definitely on track to be making the playoffs too. So we may shall yet meet. And what a weird rivalry that suddenly has grown between the Toronto Blue Jays and the Mariners. 3-2 here. Or 3-2 Oakland A's as Cal Raleigh steps to the plate now. Sorry, it wasn't Raleigh, but I said Lamb. I meant Raleigh. So Raleigh is 0 for 1. Drew a walk in the second. See if we can get a big dumper bomb here. Need a big dumper bomb from you, Cal. He doesn't always have as much power from, it seems like, the right side as he does the left. Swing and a miss on a 98-mile-an-hour fastball at the knees inside. 0-2. The Amish beard is showing you that frayed red abomination on his face is somehow helping him throw with a couple extra RPMs. Up high. 1-2. Yeah, this is goodness. Those Oakland dugout and bullpen are so ugly. Good grief. I feel bad. Yeah, they've been wanting a new stadium there. They're overdue by about 15 years for a new stadium there. But, you know, as you learn this with the Raiders, why the Raiders leave Las Vegas, I think it was cold-blooded that they did so. I don't approve of them doing so, but it's the same thing with the Chargers and the stadium they dealt with down in San Diego. They're such antiquated stadiums, and you can just feel how old they are. And Cal Raleigh swings meekly through a 97-mile-an-hour fastball in the middle of the plate. I just talked a little bit about how the Oakland A's and teams that have played against Logan Gilbert recently, when they've gotten a pitch in the middle of the plate, have made him pay. It's not that he's living in the middle of the plate. It's just that when he happens to make a mistake, you make him pay. Well, Raleigh there gets a 97-mile-an-hour fastball in the middle of the plate and swings right through the pitch. And that's sometimes what you do see at times with the Mariners lineup on their side. Certainly had an opportunity there to do something with that ball. It wasn't something with a lot of movement. It was thrown pretty straight right down the middle, lefty-righty matchup there. Couldn't do much with it. Dan DeCastro says, yep, Royd's well said. Even Sosa, gee, suddenly a monster home run hitter. Come on. Yeah, I don't pass over it. And I don't like that there are, and I'm glad to hear, Dan, you're in agreement with me on this, where it's a thing that I don't think should be just excused or passed out, or people will explain it like, well, this was the same thing we heard when the Astros were doing what they were doing. Well, there's always been cheating in baseball. It's gamesmanship. No, it's cheating. It's just pure out cheating. And the thing with roids that's even different from some of the other spots of where you get cheating. It could be, you have the guy that spit on baseballs in the 50s and 60s, and you've got other, but the difference with the roids is that there's just so much of a cause and effect situation there, where the way it had on young kids, why we have the K rate we have today. The pitchers are pitching better than ever. A pitcher today and what he can throw with the movement he can throw was not what a pitcher threw with the velocity or movement back in the 80s or even 90s. But also it's the approach of hitters. It was more of a common element back in the day that 2 strike counts, a hitter would try to just get the bat on the ball, and that he would play to try to hit to contact. And now what you have with guys are that even in 2 strike counts, they're employing the same swing that they employ on a 2-0 count. And that's where there's not an approach by them, because those hitters taught you that, you're going to hit so many home runs, you'll offset any of those Ks that you have. But now these modern hitters don't have the same power of those roids guy, because they don't have the roids to use anymore. Odd, isn't it, now that we look at the home run leaders with the end of the year at 40, 42, 43 home runs, maybe 50 sometimes. That's just because you just don't have that much of a natural power play in 162 games in a season to be able to do what those guys did. And I think they deserve to be, run through the mud. They deserve to be put into question, because again, none of them have shown any sort of, I don't even care if you're sorry at that point, frankly. I don't care. In fact, I think it's even more excusable if you were a player who was already pretty good to begin with. I can understand the guy that's a AAA guy who takes roids, who can play at the show now and come out with a 5, 6, 7 year career and make a little bit of money doing it. I don't agree with it, but I can understand it. The guy that's like a Mark McGwire or like a Barry Bonds, in McGuire's case, he might have been taking him right from the jump with Mr. Canseco. But that's, to me, the guys that you were already in the show. You were already making millions. And then you went above and beyond that. All right, we're in the top of the 6th here, a 1-0 count. Mariners also make a change with Matt Festa taking over here for Logan Gilbert. Gilbert went 5 innings, 3 earned runs. Stephen Vaught up at the plate. Sector 7 says, I'm very thankful we won the series versus the Jays because that team is dangerous. They are. Definitely kind of a dark horse team not many people are talking about. Joe Biden's Make-A-Wish. What do you think of Ricky Henderson? I love Ricky Henderson. So I don't know if I'm supposed to know that Ricky Henderson did a bunch of steroids or not, but I'm not under the impression that Ricky did at steroids. I was always under the impression he was just a lot of natural ability. But Ricky Henderson was, to me, a phenomenal player. If I don't know if you were insinuating that or just asking on Ricky, but what made Ricky, of course, awesome was he gave you power from the leadoff spot, which was very new to baseball. And Festa walks the opening batter of the inning. You just, come on, guys. You come out of the bullpen, start throwing strikes. Don't put guys on just first bat of the inning. But Ricky was the power that he could generate from the leadoff spot. And then understand, too, the way he generated the power, because he would have that crouch stance where he would make his strike zone so small by how much he would get low and lean and how hard it was to throw him a strike. The fact that he could then generate power out of it. I used to play around as a kid and try to do the Ricky Henderson stance and get low and crouch in like that and then see if, like the pitching machine, if I could generate power from it. And it's hard to do. You're really just pulled in like this, and you've got to bring everything out to get to a pitch. But he still had power, and then, of course, the speed on the base paths. The best base stealer in baseball history. Absolutely a nightmare for pitchers. And that A's team that he was on with Canseco and McGwire, I mean, once he got on, you're thinking about him, then you got McGwire, then you're like, but then Canseco's behind McGwire. I mean, the bind that put pitchers into. This ball's hit up into the air. Of course, it's a little bit of an adventure out here, and Frazier's trying to block the sun out and look for the ball and makes the catch. That will be 1 away now here in the bottom of the 6th. Jose Manuel Perez, hello from Venezuela. Hope you're doing okay out there, Jose. Dan, Spectre, Jays were on a roll. Did the Mariners slow us down? Just as dangerous. Tell you what, Dan, you guys take out Houston, we'll take out New York, and then we'll meet up after that. That sound good with you? We'll take care of each other's big bad brother in the division, and then we'll figure our stuff out later on for who gets to go to the series. How's that sound? Can I get a bet? 1 out now. Machine, stepping up to the plate. Quickly takes a strike. Sector 7 says it's Festa, so don't protesta. Nitro Hawk, how worried are you about Charles Cross? 5 penalties. He's still a rookie in the preseason, but it was a little concerning. And that's low. Ball 1. A little concerning. I really evolved my worries that I come away from in this game. Nitro Hawk, Cross's penalty situation actually really factors pretty low when on versus other things about the game. It's not going to be, I don't think, a long-term issue. Strike 1 and 2. It wasn't an issue for him in college. There are going to be growing pains from rookies, especially when you're starting them from day one, and we've got to have patience with that. So I'll employ a little more patience with that. I do think that when I talk about a component of this team not being ready to play and Carroll not having them ready to play, that's a little bit within that. Now, they were playing on a little bit of a shortened week as well. That ball's fouled off of his instep, and Mancina's, that one stung a little bit. But he'll be fine, I think, in the long term. It's the team I'm not certain on with where they're at from an energy level and a hunger level. I mean, the show tomorrow is going to be a little bit, like the thumbnail I'm going to put together is going to be based around a little bit of a, of a theme of, Where is the hunger? The not the Legion of Boom team necessarily, but the team itself, not the secondary, but that team itself had a hunger to it. And I thought it was long driven by a sense of competition and by bringing in guys that, were fighting for their lives and knew every rep counted and that they were going for it. I didn't see that hunger in this last preseason game. And that's, to me, the most concerning thing of anything. I think even Geno Smith's performance is a symptom of that. And that's something that I'm not so sure gets corrected or that I can just pass away to being merely a preseason snafu game where they just weren't, Thursday night game, they just weren't up on it. For Jonah Cloud, Brett Boone used steroids? Most likely. Yeah, most likely. You get that roid jacked body those guys all had was like all looked the same, even though Boone was probably 4 or 5 inches smaller than some of these other guys. They all had that same torqued, jacked up body, forearms as big as your bicep type look to them. Along with the big old head. That's the other giveaway, right? The big monster forehead. Jacob Drinkwater. Hello, I'm Korean, but a big fan of Seattle. Well, welcome on in, Jason. I am not Daho Lee, but he is playing in Korean League. Oh, nice. Well, welcome on in. Daho is a Mariner legend, says Sector 7. There it is. And we got a 2-2 count here on Mansion. He is struggling with the pain in his foot after knocking it off his instep. He's really breathing in there. Runner on first, 1 man down, bottom of the 6th inning. Mariners down 3-2. The pitch knocked on the ground, and that will get through out into the outfield. Lamb up with it. Keeps the runner on second. And we got 2 runners on now. Athletics not doing too much with their swings in this game that's magical. They're just really just getting the barrel of the bat on the ball. Smooth, level strokes. That was a ball a little bit low. Just kind of hit them where they weren't. And boy, he's really limping on that foot. D-Boy, Mariner says, Brandon, if you could add one more player to the M's, who would it be? Trade, free agency, don't matter. What position and what player? (3-2) now here. I'm thinking about it, D-Boy. 1-0 now. Festus is inside here to Bride. He's the 7th hitter in the order. 1 for 2 in this game. Jonah Bride. One player. Swing. Going to miss outside. Nice slider there. 0-2 now. I guess it's going to be 1 of 2 guys for me, D-Boy. I guess I'll go with Judge. No, I'm going to go against that. Ooh, danger in the outfield. Both Julio and Lamb going for the ball at the same time. Julio flashes right in front of Lamb at the last second. Says, I'm the GD center fielder here. Back off, righty. And Lamb's got to let him clear through that anyway because Lamb's not able to see the ball. And if Julio can get to it, he's got a better angle to see the ball coming in than Lamb does there, who was, again, completely confused by what he's seeing out there in right field by that sun. And they're laughing it up a little bit and smiling, but almost a very dangerous collision out there in the outfield. 2 men down now. So, D-Boy, this season's team, D-Boy, I'm going to go with, for this year's team, Shohei Ohtani. The DH position in this lineup has been trash. And my first instinct was to say Aaron Judge. 1-0 pitch. Outside. 1-1. My first instinct was to say Aaron Judge, but then I look at our outfield right now and I say, in a playoff game, Haggerty, Haniger, and Julio as my outfield, I'm okay with that. 1-1 pitch here to by Festa. High, ball 1, ball 2. But with Shohei, he cleans up my DH. Then he gets me a guy that I can bring in. I can have start one of my, I can then basically at that point push even Logan. I know I could take my pick on who's having a slow run at that point in my top 3 starting pitchers, because he gives me another top end guy then in the rotation for the playoff series this year. Swing and a miss, 2-2 on a slider, swept across the plate. Nice pitch by Festa. So I'm going. I'm going to go. Yeah. I'm going. I'm going Shohei. Fraternal says agreed. DH and get Marco out of the rotation. Yeah, no more Marco then. No more try hard, get by guy. And that's strike 3 on another beautiful slider off the plate there by Festa. Gets himself out of trouble. No more runs added on here. We will go into the top of the 7th. Mariners 2, the Athletics 3. Big country left field or DH. And I thought about the outfield, but if I'm going into a series and I've got Shohei in the DH with what we have in the outfield right now, I feel good about that lineup. Could you imagine Shohei in the middle of this lineup? Put him maybe right between France and Haniger. Whew. Look out at that point. Voodoo would go there and Judge. I thought about it. He wouldn't be bad. He might be my number 2 guy that I would take. Joe Biden's Make-A-Wish says, no, I don't think Ricky did steroids, just asking in general. Okay, yeah. I didn't think he did either. I had heard no rumors that Ricky had. I've heard no associated with it. But he was a pretty well-built guy, right? So he was pretty jacked. But no, he was such a unique player, a one-of-a-kind player. Him and Vince Coleman in the 80s were your perennial, I can't say the word, but they were the guys that were the de facto leadoff man. Leadoff man now has become a position that just sort of it's not thought about as much because the stolen base doesn't matter as much. But what would they get, 150 stolen bases a season or something like that? They would have an absurd number at the end of the year. I mean, he made pitchers nervous. He was so good in what he did from a stolen base and just in how almost taking a base was automatic for him. He would affect the pitcher and what he was doing with the guy at the plate. And that situation, again, he played on a lot of teams, but that Oakland situation, late 80s, where he's up at the top of that lineup and you've got to go through McGuire and Kasenko there going back to back. And oh my goodness, oh my goodness, you go, it's good luck. He's over there just dancing, and you're trying to pitch careful to those guys. You make one bad pitch to those guys, they're putting it 500 feet in either direction. Meg, what'd you miss? They got a couple runs on us, so we're down in this thing now. Ethan Tech rolled. Ohtani could come up to Seattle and follow his hero, Ichiro. I wouldn't turn him down. If the Angels are looking to move him this offseason, that is a guy I wouldn't mind. There is some risk with it. He's getting a little bit older. Is he eventually going to have to make a call between pitching and hitting? But I still would take that on, even where I'm happy to have that issue. I'm happy to have that problem to have to deal with. Big Country automatic World Series contender with Ohtani. You would be. Good luck with this lineup at that point, because that gives you another just one of the most dangerous hitters in baseball in the middle of an order that's got now some pretty good strength to it and a lot of power. I was saying already, I think we're in the top, I think 3 in the major leagues in home runs already. And then you add Ohtani on top of that. Nitro Hawk, it surprises me how Gino took a step back in the quarterback competition when Locke didn't play a snap. Me too. It speaks to how bad he played. I've seen some people feeling like it's not been that bad or that he was okay. I disagree. I think he did not play well, and I think he took a big step back. And it is noteworthy to me. This is as I said during the live stream telecast of it. Gino's doing this at the worst possible time. This is the time he should be showing out. This is the time he should be trying to shine. And instead, he looks like a rookie quarterback right now. And in both of the preseason games, he was a little bit better in the first one. Obviously, he was pretty good in the first one, honestly. But that was awful against a Bears team. There's no excuses. You're not playing against some top-end NFL defense running their starters out who they're trying to prepare before the year. You got no Roquan Smith-led Bears defense where Robert Quinn is the only problem on that defensive side of the ball, and you can't do a thing. You're making them look like the 85 Bears. Voodoo Magic, I see Ohtani having durability problems in 3 years. I could too. There would be a risk associated with bringing him in that respect. And you do wonder about all that usage on him, pitching and hitting and whatnot. I mean, you wonder with that a little bit. But if you eventually had to shut him down pitching-wise, I think you could still turn him into a great right fielder, and he's got great speed out there and, can supposedly play the position very well. Obviously would have an awesome arm from the right field too. So I think you could eventually make that transition. All right, Dylan Moore come up to the plate now. Looks like he's going to pinch hit here for Lamb. The A's made another pitching change as well with Acevedo. That ball hit back 1-1 as we're in the top of the 7th. Mariners down by a run. D-Boy, Brandon, do you think J-Rod is too aggressive in the outfield? Didn't he run into someone last week? I could be wrong. Him and Haniger had a problem in the outfield on a play last week. And then him and Lamb did. I thought what you had with the situation last week, D-Boy, and why it was caused is that Mitch Haniger's been out all year. He's not used to playing out there in right field with Julio. And you're only going to get used to each other by playing game after game out there and knowing what a guy can cover from ground wise. You can kind of apply that same logic here to Lamb. That ball's hit out. Lamb just came here a couple of weeks ago at the trade deadline. He's been playing sparingly out there in right field. So once again, there's not that continuity of those two playing out there constantly to know where each other's going to be, to know what the ground that can be covered, getting used to hearing maybe just the voice if it's coming out a little bit softer than you can hear as you're running up. And so always the thing to keep in mind with the center fielder is that he is the guy that runs the show in the outfield. And so he calls off everybody. If it's his ball, it's his ball. It's sort of like, if it's we're both going to get there at the same time, it's your ball at the center fielder. That's why most of the time you'll see an infielder tracking back a little pop-up, center fielder coming up. They always give ground because the center fielder will aggressively call that off. So it's probably his ball. I don't know if Julio's not saying it loud enough, but I think if you get a more stable right fielder out there playing more often than not, you're not going to deal with it as much. And a great job there by Dylan Moore. Nice piece of hitting there. Got a pitch he could hit. Drove it right back up the middle for a base hit to start things off here in the top of the 7th. This will bring up Julio Rodriguez now to the plate. Julio, one for. What's he got? Two hits in this game does Julio got. Triple. And a base hit in his last at bat. Hitting .269 of the year with 19 home runs and 62 RBIs. Dylan Moore on first, nobody out. And Acevedo getting a little nervous here with Julio up here. Steps off the mound, licks his hand. Reorganizes his thoughts just a little bit. Low, ball 1. Nice. Julio taking a pitch here. There we go, Julio. Stay patient now. Julio leading all Major League rookies in home runs, RBIs, OPS, total bases. Pretty clear-cut Rookie of the Year right here. May even be very close to unanimous. And Acevedo just does not look comfortable with Julio at the plate here. Him and the catcher can't quite get their calls right. They're going to go ahead and have a little bit of a meeting at the mound and figure this out. Nitro Hawk, this season has a very high chance of being bad. Hopefully we can at least make it exciting. That's what I hope, Nitro. I'm okay with making my piece on a rebuilding year, not being a good year, being a tough year to get through, but then do at least make it exciting. Do at least show me that you're growing to something, that there's a pathway here towards becoming good once again, as opposed to looking lost, inept, ineffectual, a lack of energy, a lack of seeming to care, which is a little bit of what I was seeing on the football field in this last preseason game. That part I will not be okay with. 1-0 pitch here to Julio. Swings and bounces it foul. 1-1. Oh, Julio's backswing hit the catcher on the back of the head. Julio's big boy, man. You got a lot of area that swing covers. Devin Martzall, Albert Pujols hit his 691st career home run, second most total bases in the AL/NL history, passes Stan Musial. Wow. Phenomenal hitter. No weak zone with Albert Pujols in his prime. There was no place you could pitch him to get around him, no pitch you could throw him to get around him. You had to do everything the old-fashioned way, which was just work a variety of different pitches in a variety of different locations and hope you can catch him guessing. 1-1 to Julio. Acevedo being very laborious here. Really taking his time to kind of figure out what he wants to do with Julio. Julio got a pitch up in the zone, and he got something to hit. Takes a deep breath. Knows he kind of had one there. Took a nice, mighty hack at it, but could only foul it off. Megan says, maybe I'm too aggressive, B. I'm go hard or go home philosophy. No, I like aggression. Usually aggression's, in sports, Megan, aggression's rewarded. It's the tentative person who's overthinking stuff that gets hit, So I think aggression is the way to go. That is the pathway in sports. Doesn't matter the sport almost. Well, maybe golf, Megan. Maybe being hyper aggressive in golf is not the best, but these other sports, yeah. And now Julio fights off a pitch here to stay alive, 1-2. Nobody out. Dylan Moore on first. Mariners down 3-2, top of the 7th. Megan says I'm an overthinker in everything else I do, though. Well, outside sports, overthinking is usually a good thing. Thinking things through is really, it's just for whatever reason, I think sports is more instinctual. 1-2 delivery here. Swing and a miss, strike 3. It's a good pitch. Breaking ball. Swung right through it. He wasn't tremendously fooled. He was right on it. Just couldn't get the bat on the ball. Not. And it's that previous pitch there that was high, middle of the plate, hanging. That's the one he missed. Ty France steps up at the plate now. One man out, top of the 7th. Dylan Moore on first. A's with their second reliever in the game here. Macon says, as you will see when you meet me. Sounds good, Megan. Sector 7 says, man, aggression helped me really well in tennis, believe it or not. No, I do believe it. I think that's the nature of sports, is it taps into a nature of that exists inside of us all. I think that's what part is nice about it, is it's a bit that gets repressed in everybody, a little bit of that go for it, engage, get it. Full steam. Don't think, just go. I think that's part of the beauty of sports, is that it does encourage that when it is so much a natural part of being a human. 0-1 count here to France. Acevedo's doing a very good job of keeping Dylan Moore close. It's about his third or fourth throw over there. Does not want to let him get a stolen base here. Lieber Dragon, Pujols again. Albert just hit 692. Jeez. Something about playing in St. Louis, man. 0-1. Hit foul. France swung at 1-3, 4 inches off the plate there. A couple of those swings today from France where he swung at things that are just not in the zone. And quite frankly, if you're looking for why the Mariners only have 2 runs here through 7th innings, real big part of it today has been early swinging in the counts, swinging at pitches that are not strikes. Hard to do something with a pitch that's going to be at your ankles or going to be 4 inches off the plate. You might get contact on it, but you're not going to get good, solid contact on it. 0-2 pitch. Bangs this ball up to the shortstop. This should be a double play ball. Easy peasy. That will retire the side. Brandt's just trying to get contact there with the 2-strike count and knocks it right back up the middle there for the double play. So Mariners go down despite getting a runner on base to start things out, and that will take us to the bottom of the 7th. Megan says it served me well playing hockey for 7 years, field hockey for 7 years. I bet. Nitro Hawk, do you think we'll get a title for any sports team in Seattle first or basketball team faster? Probably a basketball team faster, but that's sort of playing the odds. I do think this Mariner team has a definite potential of getting to the World Series here within the next couple of years, and even this year. This year would take a little bit of a magical part where it's like to get there this year, you're overachieving past maybe where your full talent base is set, where your team is set, what the youth of your team is at. But within the next couple of years, they certainly are going to be in a position to make that run. It is going to require a couple of back-end finishing moves for the roster that just sound like a couple of moves, but they'll be very key. And they very much could be those moves of Jerry Dipoto makes the moves, it pushes you over the top, you're the World Series contender, or he completely whiffs on it, and then the missing of those moves as you had gotten everything else right is enough to just hold you back just enough from truly getting to compete in World Series. You might get there but not win one. You might get into some playoffs consistently and win a couple, but it will be those next corresponding moves to me that are really going to dictate how far that success goes. They've done the hard part, which is laying the foundation and getting the pillars set, but there's still now the last sort of part to kind of bring it all together. We need our dude rug from the Big Lebowski, basically. The Shohei Ohtani rug. Libra Dragon says it's okay. The Mariners have their 2 favorite innings come up. That's right. We don't wake up till the 7th inning. Okay? We still been in bed. We let all the rest of the major league teams play through the 6 innings, and that's great. But we're here to get this done when it's over with, right? You can't win the game in the 1st inning. You can't win the game in the 2nd inning. You can't win the game in the 3rd inning. You can't win the game in the 4th inning. You can't win the game in the 5th inning. You can't win the 6th inning. But you can start to win in the 7th, 8th, 9th. That's where you can start to get it done. And we're going to go with some Swanson dinners here. Looks like Mr. Ryan Swanson's on the hill. Anybody want some corned beef hash? Swanson. Hungry man. Swanson dinners for the hungry man. Swanson with a minuscule .97 ERA in 37 innings of work this year. He's been money. Sector 7 says, I seriously love the sport. More of a doubles guy myself since I like to play up at the net. I like tennis too. I could never get around always. I always get the sore tennis elbow whenever I've played it though. I could never get around that. And Swanson gets a benefit on 2-0 of what should have been 3-0, but the umpire gave him a strike call, so that's 2-1 now. Swanson comes set. Outside 3-1. Megan, Wild B, you shouldn't like USC P. Carroll. You can't win a game in the 1st inning quarter. Laughing out loud. Nah, that's what I was referencing there. That's definitely what I was referencing. Three-one pitch here by Swanson. Ooh, hit hard, and that's going to be a base hit out to Julio. So Athletics now with their 8th hit of the ball game here. Very good job of, again, they're not trying to hit this too much, and Albert comes up and hits another. He's got a big old bear belly now. That uniform's all loose off of him. Remember how Junior looked at the end, where Junior obviously added a good 20 pounds at the end. Junior's looking jacked right now, by the way. Junior's looking more in shape now than he did in his career almost. But Pujols showing the power of the beer belly. And how about that? Only 4 behind A-Rod right now. I'd love to see Albert get over A-Rod. Another steroid user. Kemp up to the plate, as was mentioned in the chat earlier. Guys really been hurting our Mariners. And again, the Athletics get a runner on base here to open the inning off. Seems like they've done this a couple times throughout the course of this game too. Aroid. That's right. Aroid. Which is perfect because it also does sound like hemorrhoid. Nobody out here. Bottom of the 7th inning. Swanson with a wide delivery. Kemp shows bunt, pulls it back, takes ball 1. Megan says, I know my Pete Carroll references B. I should. God knows I've been watching enough tape of him, and no, I'm not obsessed. I'm just getting ready for Rice games on the 3rd September. D-Boy says, Brandon, did you enjoy watching 2021 Mariners or this year's M's? I liked watching last year's M's too, D-Boy. I'm watching a little more consistently this year, and that is a bunt by Kemp. Eugenio fields it, and a great pick there by France. That ball was a little low and hard, not easy pick there. France made that look a lot easier than it was. He doesn't make that pick. You got 2 runners on with nobody out. But one runner on second now, 1 man out. Good play there. I liked watching people. I'm watching more consistently this year because I still felt like last year they're still so far away. And I did think they were playing over their talent level last year, and they were benefiting from some flukiness in the nature of having all those wins in so many close games all the time. Some of that's by design. I get that. But I also feel like they were just still far away. And I wasn't sure that they were still on the right approach and path. And I just don't, with 20 years of it, I just don't want to invest in a team that's going nowhere and shows no signs of going anywhere. I can deal with a team being bad, like our Seahawks this year. I can deal with you being bad, but just show me now there's signs of you going somewhere and where you're going. Show me how does the future plan unfold? What is the plan? And you could start to see that coming together last year at the Mariners. And I thought on the back of that, that's what was going to make this team that much more fun to watch this year, is that it should all come even a little bit more. Should go from this to now start to go to this, where it's all really coming together. And Swanson's got a quick 0-2 count here on Brown. Knockback. I enjoy watching this year's team a little bit more, D-Boy, just because I feel like this year's team's rising up more too. I liked last year's team, but this year's team's just there's even more of that spirit's there. I think Julio being here is it's given a little bit of that youthful vigor to it now, where it's not just a plucky, resilient spirit. It's also got that youthful, I can do anything on a baseball diamond kind of brought into it. And now you got the stud young pitchers coming up. I'm more excited by that. Swanson's got him 0-2 here. He's trying to keep Stevenson close. Doesn't want him stealing a bag here with 1 man down. As Debo says, everyone hit that like button. It will help Brandon out. It helps the stream out, and it will help you out. How you ask? It will make you feel better that you did something nice. Well, thank you, D-Boy, for mentioning that. If you do like what you're listening to, please do hit that like button for me. Swing and a miss. Gives him a little bit of that 95-mile-an-hour fastball right in the middle of the plate. And Swanson just went in and challenged him 0-2. No doubt Stevenson's probably thinking there he's going to waste one. I'm going to get a little breaking ball, and Swanson came right back after him. Love the ballsiness by Swanson there. Woodward comes out and he's like, I love how ballsy that was. The pitching coach had to come out and just tell him just how that was ballsy, man. Swanson's like, yeah, I know. Let me get this last out so we can get our hitters up. I'm Mr. Ballsy. So we got Sean Murphy up. 1 for 3 in this game with a single. Third hitter in the order for the A's. Not a dangerous lineup necessarily, but this is maybe one of the more dangerous hitters. You'd really love to keep this. You'd love to keep this down to 1 run here. Mariners are due to bring up the middle of their order next inning. 1-0. Swanson comes set. Strike. Nice little splitter there. Murphy taking his time, stepping out of the box, taking a couple warm-up swings. Swanson comes set. Down and away, being careful here with Murphy. You got Vaught on deck, hitting 145 on the year. Not understandable. It's maybe what Woodward came out there and said to him at that point is, look, this is the one guy in this lineup that can hurt us here. Maybe if you pitch around him a little bit, don't give him a lot to hit. We go to the next guy. That's okay. It's not the worst of results for us here in this inning. Hit hard. He got out in front of that one. That splitter, he was all over that one. Just ripped it foul. 2-2. Megan says, is Ham Swaggerty playing today, B? Nope. They got Jake Lamb out there. They're trying to give they're trying to give the swag man a little bit of rest tonight. He's been playing a lot lately. That ball's fouled back there 2-2. Man, there's a guy in the stands who's lamenting way too hard the fact that he dropped the ball. Him and his wife are like arguing over it. Oh my God. He looked like a sad little boy that he didn't catch the foul ball. Kid's back there just crushing a Cheetos can. All right, 2-2 pitch here. Runner on second. 2 men out. Oakland A's up 3-2 on your Mariners. Payoff pitch. Bounced on the ground. Crawford's up with it. Lets it rip across the diamond, and that will be the final out of the inning. Swanson gets out of trouble. The guy's still bitching and moaning about not getting that foul ball, and that will get them out of the inning. So we turn this over to the top of the 8th inning. Your Mariners have managed a meager 4 hits in this ball game. Really, really, really struggling here to, as we've seen throughout the year, knock the guys on when they get them on base, though, as well. 11 runners left on base in this particular game. It seems like we're always in every single game good for double digits in that category of things. Nitro Hawk, if you could get one win this year, who would it be? Mine would be the Broncos. Broncos. Megan, I'd love to have us have a win against the Cardinals in their stadium too, but Megan, do you understand how painful the chat is going to be on Monday night if we lose to Russell Wilson and lose badly? I'm going to be walking people off ledges right and left as though it is going to be absurd. I can only imagine how that's going to go. So let's get that first win. And then whatever happens, happens. Rams would be my second for sure. Yeah, Rams would probably be right there too, I guess, is the number 2 team you'd like to beat. I guess that sounds right. I wouldn't mind beating the Chiefs, though. That'd be pretty cool. Megan says, I know. I want the cards for bragging rights for my brother. I know, but if we're 1-16 on the year, he'll be like, okay, you beat us once, but we're still better, and he'll still have ultimate bragging rights at that point. All right, 1 sec here, folks. Let me get the water. I'll be right back. All right, let's see what our Mariners could do here now. We got Winker back up at the plate here. He's 0 for 2, taking a first pitch strike. He walked in the third, but is 0 for 2 otherwise. Athletics will go to their third reliever in this game. Nitro, would I rather sweep the Rams instead? Nah, I want the Russell game. I don't want to hear Russell. I don't want to, I just, Russell can be fine after this year, but this year I do want Russell to just suck. Just this year. I'm not, it's not from any bitterness or anything. Just, I do not want to watch on first opening game of the season, Russell come in and boat race us. Oh my God. The chat's going to go till like 5 in the morning that day. I'm already kind of preparing myself of that potential because I just know it's going to be me trying to just, it's okay guys, we're going to be okay. It's going to be okay. No, it's not. No, it's not. Winker 1 and 2 here. Takes low. Winks does a great job at working counts for the most part. Obviously one of the league leaders in walks in Major League Baseball this year. Megan says drug stream for Broncos loss B. It may be. I will probably I'll have something ready on that one. Because I am worried. I'm worried on that one right now after the last game. 2-2 pitch, low, ball 3, 3 and 2. Get a little wink. We need a little wink walk. A wink walk. Sector 7, dude, the Wilson stands are going to be overtime on the Monday night. Oh, I know. The Wilson stands are going to be that way. That's a great way of calling them Wilson stands. Man, they're going to be, it's going to be, yeah. I'm already, I know it's coming. Woo! Great pitch there by Jackson. He gets a strike 3. Winker thought he had ball 4. Can't believe it. Winker just unbelievably looking already 3/4 the way down the first base line. Caught, completely shocked. It was a good pitch, though. It was right near borderline top of the zone. It had some great sweeping action right through there on the pitch tracer. It's got it right there on the black. And it's on the black on both the top edge and on the outside part of the edge. So it's kind of the best of both worlds if you're pitching that ball. Nice pitch. Mitch Haniger steps up down, takes ball 1. Strike. Megan says, I will seriously be questioning my 12's membership if the Broncos win. Well, I don't think anyone will be questioning that. It'll just be, we're gonna have a very divided fan base, I think, at that point. Even and just off the one game of the first game of the year, there's gonna be a lot riding on that first game of the year from an emotional standpoint in the fan base. All right, 2-1 now. Mitch Haniger takes ball 3. Very good eye. Borderline pitch there. Sector 7 says, nah, come on. You can't leave after one bad season. Nah, she's joking. Nitro said, I love Wilson, but he makes me die so much on the inside at the same time. That's a good way of putting it. It's a very good way of putting it. 3-1 pitch here to Mitch Haniger. Swinging. Hits it, base hit out in just a little nubber there. He's able to just get enough of the wood on it to just kind of knock it out in their center fielder. Gets a nice base hit, so the Mariners got something going here maybe a little bit. Runner on first, Crawford up to the plate. Looks like Crawford's been faced in lefty matchups here all game a little bit. Now he gets a little bit of the other side of it. Crawford 0 for 3 in this game. And boy, has he been pitched tough throughout. Strike. Swung right through a 94-mile-an-hour fastball outside the plate. That was a pitch Crawford usually is able to kind of lace out into left field, just go right with it. Looked like he tried to kind of pull that one a little bit, though. 0-1. Low, outside, 1-1. Debo says Wilson Seahawks jerseys are $20 everywhere you go. And the lady at TJ Maxx said they're still selling like crazy. People are probably just having them for commemorative sake at this point. But $20 is $20. And those jerseys are usually, almost $100. JP, 1-1. Again, oh, nice high there. Takes low. Jackson does a great job with that breaking ball of sliding it past the zone. He did it on the Winker pitch where it just is starting at the top, ends out on the outside corner, but as it's crossing the plate, it's cutting through the top of the plate. Just barely, like for the most minimal amount, moving across the plate as far as being in the strike zone. You can really see it there with the way he's trying to snap that through the zone. And he goes now 3-1 with Crawford. He's gotten a little bit into a messing around here, though. Times with him, though, where he does with Crawford. I haven't seen a lot with Jackson, but he also has a little bit of a tendency, it looks like, kind of try to overthrow it. Low, but gets the strike call. Borderline pitch. Great pitch by Jackson there. Eugenio Suarez looming on deck. JP thinking about it. What's he going to throw me here? JP, you're going to get a fastball here. He's not going to put 2 runners on with Eugenio. Outside plate, 94. That's where you're getting it. No, he throws a breaking ball to him. Crawford hits it meekly over to second base. No doubt Crawford was sitting on fastball there too. And very good job. Great job by pitching here by the Athletics bullpen. Pitch location, choice of pitches. You get Crawford there sitting probably dead red fastball outside part of the plate, and that's where he's looking to see if he can work with it. And Eugenio up now. Since 2018, there is no Major League Baseball player. Let me just, they're blowing my mind here on the telecast. Let me blow your mind. Since 2018, there is no Major League Baseball player who has hit more home runs than Eugenio Suarez with 151. How about that stat? Just barely edging out Aaron Judge. So let's see if Eugenio can do something here now. He's got a walk and a triple in this game. Hitting .290 with runners in scoring position this year. Had 2 jacks yesterday. 2 beautiful, majestic home runs off his bat. 1 to left field, 1 to center. 1-1 now. Boy, that was a bad pitch there. Umpire just gave Jackson 1 there. That should have been a 2-0 count to Eugenio. Now, the Mariners in this game are 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position, whereas the Athletics are 2 for 8. Now, the Mariners do have 2 sac flies, so they haven't been completely at a loss. But certainly this has not been a strong position for him. And Eugenio takes 95 on the black. Jackson just very, very on point with his control here in this inning. When he's wanted to put a pitch in a spot, he's been living on the black in this inning. 1-2 here to Eugenio Suarez. Hits it down the line. This looks like trouble, and this is going to bring him in. Haniger makes the turn at first, gets in, and that will do it. Nice job by Eugenio Suarez, who continues to deliver big for the Mariners here lately, on top of what he's done this year. Very clutch for your Mariner team, hitting nearly 300 with runners in scoring position just for reasons like that. He's down in a 1-2 count, gets another tough pitch by Jackson at the knees on a breaking ball, moving away from him, and he just lays the big part of the bat on the ball, and it's just enough, as I like to say, put the barrel of the bat on the ball and good things happen. Rather than looking for that 2-strike stroke where you're looking to try to put the ball out into the second deck, barrel, bat, shorten your swing. And that's just what Eugenio did there. Great piece of clutch hitting by Eugenio Suarez. Awesome, awesome job. Frazier steps up now, fouls off the first pitch. Jackson with the wind. Hits this one hard, deep, but right at the right fielder. That looked like trouble off the bat of Frazier, but ends up dying meekly out there in the outfield. But a great job by Eugenio Suarez. The resiliency of this Mariner team yet once again on display with a 2-out base hit, driving the runner home, bringing this game back to a 3-3 tie. Top Cheese Sports, how do you think the Seahawks will do without Russell Wilson? Well, my theory has been coming into before these 2 preseason games, Top Cheese, my theory had been on this, that this team was going to be more of a middling team, middle of the road, 7, 8 wins. Quite honestly, though, with the way that I'm watching them play this preseason, it is making me reevaluate that assessment and think that maybe I need to take that down a couple of games, somewhere more in the neighborhood of potentially 4 or 5 wins. They looked really bad in the last preseason game, and I'm not one to just say that that's just a preseason game. It doesn't matter for anything. I don't put a lot of weight into preseason games, but if you're completely miserable end to end, if your team doesn't show up with any life, that's the part that goes, well, wait, that could carry into the season. This may just be a team without that it's going to be a little bit of what my show is going to be around tomorrow. It's just without that hunger. Without that hunger that you need to have as a team to be a winning team. It's more than just talent. It's more than just you've practiced really hard. It's also that you truly show you want it. And I didn't see a lot of guys there on the football field in this last preseason game that wanted anything. Megan, Russ lost me as a fan when he kept saying he wanted to stay in Seattle but couldn't leave quick enough with the Broncos, gave him the money. Loyalty means more to me than selling out, not to mention the Russ versus Carroll drama that really did my head in. It soured me on Russ too, Megan. He really went very quickly into the stage of I want out of town. You know, with me, I saw this a year ago with him doing this, submitting a list of 4 teams he's willing to be traded to. He was already trying to press his way out of time at that, and I thought that he really put the team in a tough position by doing that because they had just signed him to a new contract extension, and what he was really asking teams to do was that then, it's like what you see with Kevin Durant right now with the New Jersey Nets. You play to the guy and give him what he wants, and then he goes, okay, well, I want out of here really, really quickly to where you're going to be harmed and hurt when I leave, and you're going to be in this recovery place, but I get to go and now just go to this great place, and that's all set up for me to be able to fly. Or ride, I guess I should say. That sticks in my craw just a bit. All right, 0-1 count here. Paul Sewald in the game now. Voodoo Magic, Suarez is a big upgrade over Seager. He is. Rob Terrell, F you, Jobu, I do myself. Great Major League reference. If you don't help me now, if you don't help me now, Jobu, F you. The best scene of that, Rob, in that movie, though, is when the voodoo magic guy is doing all of his voodoo stuff, and then they're on the plane. 2-1 count here. Sewald comes set to Vaught. Outside 3-1. Okay, come on, Marin relievers. Don't put the first batter on base in the inning by just giving him a bag. Make him earn it here. The guy's hitting 145, Paul. 145. Come on. Get it together. Anyway, there's a scene where they're on the plane, the major league team is, and they're suffering some rough weather. They're going through a thunderstorm, and the plane's bobbing up and down, and it's looking kind of dodgy. And there's been this whole point where there's this Christian guy on the team throughout this, and then there's the voodoo guy, and they've been going back and forth with it throughout, having a little bit of tit for tats. And the plane's at a point where it looks like it's going down and diving down. And the voodoo guy starts signing himself, and the Christian guy's over there yeah, he sees. All right, 3-2 pitch here from Paul. Nobody out. Bottom of the 8th inning. Outside, he does indeed walk him. And Paul says a little curse word out to the side because he knows that is not great on his part. James Black says, more than just a power hitter. Let's go, Gino. Let's go. Jay says, Drew Lock season, baby. It's going to be a season very quickly. Gino keeps playing like that. Big Country says, at this point, I'd almost start Eason over Gino. I would too. I mean, just give me a guy that at least looks like he's comfortable playing the quarterback position back there. Gino looks completely out of sorts, uncomfortable, indecisive. It's like a guy looking for, where he's going to fail or playing not to lose. So one runner on first here, Pinder up to the plate. Slider, nice slider there, swing and a miss for 0-1. And I'm frankly kind of don't want to see it. You're 10 years into this league. You shouldn't look indecisive. You shouldn't look scared to play the position when you're on the football field. And if you're still looking scared to play the position 10 years in what's going to be your real last opportunity to be a starter in this league, then you're just not ready to be a starter in this league. And that's a nice pitch in on the hands there. He'll foul back 0-2. Berserker says, I didn't know you had this channel, Brandon. I just randomly found it. It was surprising to see you on here. Well, hell yeah, man. Welcome on in. We just started the channel up this year, so I'm just kind of beginning it, and I wanted to kind of get this to be able to give me sort of, you get to the dead period in NFL season, dead off season period. You got to have a little bit of some other stuff, and I'm getting jacked about this team. So that ball's hit in off the hands. This might be trouble in right field. Frazier just casually Willie Mazes it over his shoulder. Frazier made that play look routinely easy. He had a long way to track to get out there to right field. The sun's been an issue, though it does look like the shadows finally crept in over the top. But he just kind of he Willie Mazed it down at his waist, kind of back shoulder to the ball as he's running to it. Great play there by Frazier. And he's just over there like, yeah, it wasn't nothing but a thing on a chicken wing, on a string. So Vimel Manchin comes to the plate now. 1 out, 1 runner on first. Sector 7 says, I was afraid of saying this, but I greatly enjoyed Easton's play. I did too. It's just about a guy going out there and let it go. I know that Carroll's risk averse. Seawald throws a ball outside, and wow, the umpire. Woo! Look at the pitch tracker on that one, folks. That was 6.5 inches outside, and the umpire called that one a strike. Oh, woo! Thank you, Blue. Thank you, Blue. 0-1 now. Slider low. 1-1. But I just like seeing a guy going out there and letting it rip, let it go, let it do. I know maybe some of this is those guys are playing low. He's playing more free spirit. Maybe Locke was in that role too. And Gino's had a couple of years of watching Carroll in Wilson's ear and in his ear. And Carroll is, I know, a harper about this. He is a harper, a hen picker. He is on you about do not have a turnover, no turnovers. And that's going to lead you to risk-adverse situations and throws. And you think to the game of Eason with that throw where he's, back across his body to, I think it was to Cade or Bo Melton in the end zone, and they just couldn't bring the throw down. But it was a great throw and just gutsy as hell. I don't know. At least that's a fun. It's no fun just a guy just literally drowning, but he's getting just enough kick strokes to get his mouth just above the top of the water to get a breath in, which is how watching Geno Smith play football. That's it. That's Geno Smith, and I'm good with it. 1-2 delivery here from Seawald. Runner on first. Slider backdoors him. And like Aerosmith said, never see you coming out the window. No. Give him a little of that. It's only going through the back door on you, buddy. Right on the black. He took the last 1/4 of the baseball, put that 1/4 of the baseball on the black. Good luck. So 2 outs now. Great job here by Seawald after the initial walk. Strike. 93-mile-an-hour fastball down the middle of the plate. Rob, so funny. Love that movie. I do too. To me, Major League, Bull Durham, Field of Dreams, kind of the natural. We got to talk a little bit about that one. But those are the 4, to me, classic baseball movies of the 80s. Classic, and there may have not been a classic baseball movie in the 90s, quite frankly. So, but those were kind of a golden age for baseball films. And this ball's hit hard and deep. And Lamb. So I believe that was Lamb out there in right field, or Moore. No, it was Moore out there in right field, anticipating that Julio was going to come flashing over, demonstratively waving his hand saying, I got it. And then as soon as he caught it, he flipped it right over to Julio. It's kind of an acknowledgement there. I know you were over there near me. I know you could have gotten it too. Big Country says, oh my God, what a break on that pitch. Ump needs glasses. Yeah, he hasn't missed on one that bad all day. He started out really good, the ump in this game. It's been a little bit dodgy as we've gone along. That sun just must be really hot there in Oakland is all I can say. It's a hot sun. Megan, I don't care that if he wanted to leave, just don't give me that line of BS that you want to stay when you know full well you don't. Yeah, I get that too. I don't give as much a hard time for him on that, Megan, because I kind of walk that through a little bit on, he goes to the Seahawks last offseason and he says, okay, I just got to watch Tom Brady go in there and have everything catered to him, and you guys won't cater nothing to me. I want out of here. And then they go, Russell, we have to eat $38 million of dead money to move you this offseason. We're not willing to do that. That's too much of a dead money hit to ask us to sustain, to move you. On top of there's not a lot of teams that even want to trade for you this offseason. You're going to need to give us a year and let some of that cap hit be reduced down a little bit. And now if Russell comes out, and what they would also tell him with that, Megan, is that if you're going to come out there and play this publicly like you are, and I'm guessing, Megan, this conversation happened, where they came to Russell Wilson and said, if you're going to play this publicly out as you go on your media death tour, talking about how you've taken too many hits, talking about how you'd like more of a decision-making on the personnel and on the coaching staff. If you continue to do this, you're going to erode your trade value and bring it down to a place where it makes no sense for us to trade you whatsoever. So what we will then do is we will hold on to you throughout the course of your entire contract, and then we'll franchise you 2 times. Or you can shut the F up, let this process play out, give us a year so that $38 million goes down to $26 million in dead money hit, which is still substantial, but not quite as bad as $38 million on a particular year where the cap was only at $182 million. Cal Raleigh up to the plate now here. We're into the top of the 9th inning. Mariners are tied 3-3. Raleigh gets a fastball right at the knees from Jimenez. It was like the 4th or 5th reliever for the A's in this game. Quite a few. Fouled off. 0-2 here to Cal. So the thing with that is I can understand then him being quiet, Megan, because him coming out and saying, here's the truth of the situation, then potentially puts him into the chains of Seattle holding on to him longer, because nobody's going to offer you anything when they know the player wants out of town. That is the first thing that will destroy a player's value on the open market. So he had to be a little bit of him being quiet there is not a little bit, to me, as much as two-face is just playing the game. And that's high, 1-2. But that's why I do hold it against him signing the contract in 2018. Because you don't just go from being everything's fine and dandy happened in 2018 to like a year and a half later now, the world's on fire and I hate being here and get me out. That's where, again, that's the selfishness of like living in the moment of going, okay, well, I want to go now. I'm not getting what I want, so let me go. I don't care how much pain you guys have to suffer to let me go. And that's a beautiful pitch. Strike 3 to Cal Raleigh there. That thing had a ton of downward movement. 1 man down. Top G Sports, the Seahawks suck. I think they'll go 4-13. No, right now in preseason, they're looking like a 4-13 team. Right now, that is what they're showing you on the team. I mean, the Chicago Bear roster is, I think, probably one of the worst in football, if not the second or third worst in football. And, you made them look like a Division division leader there. Make it like they could stand with the Packers or something. All right, Carlos Black Magic Woman. Santana steps up to the plate. He's only hit 197 on the year with 11 home runs and 41 RBIs, but he has been a man with a clutch gene. He's got that XO chromosome clutch gene that he can apply. Doesn't show it on that first swing. That was pretty meager there on 0-1, but he has come up big here for your Mariners in this realm of things. Though again, one of those very much a free swinger in this lineup. He wants to let that bat do some work. Jimenez comes set now, 0-1. Bounces it, 1-1. Spectre 7, this may go extras, man. It does have a little bit of maybe the look of that, doesn't it? Jimenez comes set, 1-1. Hit right back up the middle, but it's right into the shift. And that will do the job there. Boy, they had him well played on that. Right into that shift. He put the good part of the bat on the ball, but it looked like maybe the pitcher got a little bit of the glove on that too, kind of knocked down some of that. I mean, Santana had 102 mile an hour exit velocity on that. He hit on a line, just, yeah. All right, another guy's been fairly clutch this year at great time is Julio Rodriguez. 2 for 4 in this game. See if maybe Julio can give the Mariners a key one more run here with one swing of his bat. That ball outside, 1-0. I'd love to see a J-Rod homer. I can't go J-Rod with him. It's too A-Rod. I got to find a new nickname for this kid we can settle on. I'm sure J-Rod's probably already sticking too hard right now at this point. We're not going to be able to unstick it. 1-0. High. Ball 2. All right. Look for a fastball here, Rook. Look for a fastball in a spot that you can put a good swing on it. And if it's not the pitch you're looking for, then just take. You're still then sitting 2-1 in the count. Don't get him to swing a slider. Stay patient here. 2-0. Hit hard, base hit into left field. And indeed, that's a pitch you can work with there. That's right at the top of the zone. And he jumped all over that pitch. Julio with 3 hits in this ball game. Future Rookie of the Year this year, no doubt about it. And he just hung that pitch. Lucky Julio didn't park that one. He just didn't get under it, but he bought a line drive swing on it. If he gets even a little bit underneath that with where that pitch is, even a little bit underneath where that pitch is, he's putting that out. Ty France comes up now with 2 men out. Top of the 9th. Game tied 3-3. Ty in this game 0 for 2 with a sac fly, a walk, and an RBI. The Athletics are going to go ahead and play him straight away. This Ty is a very good hitter with using all of the fields. Low, ball 1. Top G Sports, I think the Bears have one of the worst rosters in the NFL, but they do have a better roster than the Texans, Jaguars, and Jets. Yeah, I think the Jets from a pure talent standpoint are better than those other 3 teams, but they've got to prove it on the field. But they're all kind of the bottom of the barrel roster spots, which is the most important point. And sadly, if my Mariners can't compete with that, then maybe they're perhaps one, or my Seahawks can't compete with that. Maybe they're perhaps one of them. Ty swinging far out the zone. He's just not saw the ball really well today up at the plate. I think he's had about 3 swings on pitches that have been easily 3, 4, 5 inches out of the zone. And he's just usually Ty's a little more disciplined. He's got great plate coverage, of course, because he's going to play that. He's going to be up on that inside part of the plate. It's part of why he gets hit as much as he does. But got to wait there. And Julio with a stolen base. Nice job by Julio. It was a ball down. The ball down the dirt, is that that? And Julio was just a great jump. I don't think they get him even if there is a throw there. But there's no throw as it was a ball in the dirt. Catcher Murphy had to pick that and just couldn't get a clean pick. Catchers would like to prefer, of course, to kind of get the two hands up and get their body in front of that there, but he's got to pick it to try to get a throw off. No chance he was getting Julio there. So 2-1 here to France now. France hits it hard right at the left fielder. Tough luck there. Left fielder was on it. France got a good swing on it. A little bit like Julio's there. Got a good pitch to hit, just couldn't get enough lift to drive it out. And we will go to the bottom of the ninth with both teams tied up. According to Baseball Reference, one of Julio's nicknames is Acuna. Acuna's nice. Doesn't have a lot of ferocity behind it. For Jonah McLeod, are you concerned with Gilbert going forward? He's been off since the All-Star break. I'm not. I think you're going to get a chance to potentially rest him for a start or two as we get into September, number one. Number two, when I look at the issues that he's had prior to this start, and even in this start, it was a little bit still on display, but it was better in this start than it's been in the recent ones that you're referencing, which is the amount of pitches he's missing on. And when he misses, then missing in the middle of the zone. Missing dead red right in the middle, waist high. It's for some reason he gets where he'll be great on 8 or 9 pitches, and then he misses in the middle of the plate, and then the hitters make him pay. So he's got to find a way to stay out of the middle of the plate, which to me, he's still hitting. I'm still seeing the great movement on his pitches. I'm still seeing the velocity on his pitches. I don't see the signs of necessarily wearing down or there being a problem. It's just that right now, mechanically, he's a little bit off here. And I do wonder if a little bit of it, he's getting a little wild on his follow through a little bit. He's always a little bit off on that. He's not a guy that comes down perfectly balanced in his follow through. He's going to have that leg swing out as he comes down. That's just his natural kind of thing. But it's gotten even a little bit more inconsistent in the way that he's landing. And I do think that you can correct that and fix that. It's a very minor mechanical thing as opposed to the other things that it could be being, okay, he's wore down, he's tired, there's this, there's that. So I've got faith that he's going to be fine in the long run. Banger's Best, John, let's go Mariners. Let's go Mariners. Big Country, you think Ty needs to be moved down in the batting order? No. I don't think he's fine. He's well placed where he's at. He's okay. I think he's just having, as much as anything, a tough game here today. Lieber Dragon says, Ham Swaggerty heads to right field. Go Hams. Well, that's what we needed here. We needed some of that drip so hard in the outfield. A little injection in the lineup, if you will. Andres Munoz takes the hill for the Mariners. The flamethrower with the 2.61 ERA in 47 games this year. Mariners get a little bit better defensively out there in the outfield with Hags. Be a little bit of the bottom 8-9-1 in the order for the Athletics in this inning. Come on, Ems is right. Rob Terrell, did they walk France here and pitch to Wire? No, they went after him. I'm not surprised to see him go after him, too. You got the righty-righty matchup there, and you want to get to lefty-righty there with Wink. 1-1. Acuna. I'll try it, Asama. I'll try to do the Acuna. That's ball 2. A little high there by Munoz. Two one. Batted foul. 2-2. Here's the delivery. Outside, 3-2. Boys, Mariner relievers feels like every one of them has come in with the first batter they faced and got him into a 3-ball count. Do not put the opening runner of this inning on base. You're 8-9-1 here. You don't want to turn back into going through Brown Murphy. You're already going to have to deal with Kemp, who has been a thorn in this Mariner side here. Munoz comes set. 3-2 delivery. Swing and a miss. Allen bailed him out there, swinging a slider well out of the zone. Allen looks like he's about 11 and a half years old. I play baseball. I mean, I don't think he even shaves. That is a baby face. Megan says, okay, gang, head out for Ollie's third birthday party. Not sure when I'll be back. See you soon. Sounds good, Megan. I'll be on tomorrow, too, on the football side of things, so we'll be back at it. All right, one man down, nobody on here. Swing and a miss. Nice little slider there to Cal Stevenson, who's 2 for 2. He's had a good day. Sack, bunt, double, single. Good production from the ninth man in the order. He was usually hitting 200. Oof. Munoz got a call there. 100-mile-an-hour fastball looked like it was 3 inches high on the top side of the zone and still got the call strike. So it quickly gets him 0-2 now. See you then, Megan. Rob Terrell, Wild Thing. Wild Thing is right. Munoz is definitely our Wild Thing in this bullpen. 0-2. Ball. 1-2. Probably comes back with the slider here. I don't know. I'm always wrong when I guess. That would have been a horrible major league hitter. He does come back with a slider, and that's a strike 3. Swings right through it. Nice pitch there by Munoz. Your mind wants to say fastball when it leaves his hand. It doesn't. It looks it's unlike the curveball, which you can pick up more of the movement of the curve off the hand. The slider by design is made to be more harder to pick up, and you think it's fastball when you got that 100-mile-an-hour flamethrower going. You're so amped up to try to get that bat around on the ball at 100 miles an hour that the slider just becomes secondary in your mind, which just makes it that much more lethal. Kemp's up to the plate now. Strike. 101-mile-an-hour fastball at the knees. I think that singed Cal Raleigh's glove. Is that smoke I see coming off the leather? Smoke on the leather. Do. Batted foul, 0-2. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. He came up out the bullpen and he just threw a wicked slider. Struck out the Mariner killer. Kemp, get your ass back to the bench. Mariner Magic. Come on. Mariner Magic. Let's go. Mariner Magic. Let's go. Come on. Atta-way, Munoz. Atta-way. There was once an acclaimed bullpen unit that came out of Cincinnati. And oh, what a fun team that was to watch back in the 1990 year. Our year of the Lord, 1990. And they had a crew that came out of that bullpen. And that crew went up against that mighty Oakland Athletics team that I was talking about in the late 80s, that undefeatable team with the Ricky Hendersons and Jose Cansecos and Mark McGuires and Dennis Eckersley and a starting staff from hell. But those boys out of Cincinnati, they call them the Nasty Boys. These are the guys that one of these guys would even go and toe-to-toe try to fight your own Lou Piniella in the locker room. That's how fiery these guys are. That's why they called them the Nasty Boys. And, hey, even one of them became our closer at one point. A guy by the name of Norm Charlton. Well, this might just be the closest iteration that we have seen in quite a bit of time to that Nasty Boy unit of 1990. This team's got some very similar echoes to that Nasty Boy team, because something that was a defining aspect about that bullpen, they were all good, and they all came out with that nasty stuff. Pitches that broke hard, power arms out of the pen. Good luck. Well, let's see if our Mariner team with this similar bullpen can get those similar returns to that 1990 Cincinnati team, which did not have a stacked lineup. Barry Larkin, Eric Davis, that was the centerpiece of that lineup. Kind of some similar echoes here. Spectre 7, I kind of want to keep them to a Mariner theme. What about the Anchormen? Anchormen's pretty good. Though then it does kind of sound like Anchorman, like Anchormen, like the Will Ferrell movie a little bit. But I like where you're at. Somebody had the Undertakers on the last one on the last live stream we did. What do we think about Undertakers? Big Country says the Night Shift. Night Shift's pretty good too. But again, you want a little bit of fear that it instills in saying their name. All right, Winker comes up out here now in the top of the 10th. Ty France will start out on second base, of course, with these new rules in Major League Baseball. Hopefully Winker can pull it to the right side. And he hits it on a line drive stroke right at the first baseman for out number 1. Some good swings here by the Mariners hitters here in the last couple of bats. You just have hit them right at the fielders. Just kind of tough luck in that respect. Winker did just kind of throw the bat. Didn't get a really great swing on it. He did get the barrel of the bat on the ball, but it's a little bit like what we saw Eugenio there on swing he had from the right-handed side in the 8th inning. So Mitch Haniger comes up, one man down. France not able to get over to third base. Batted on the ground here. And France running on the play, oddly. And he is going to be the Cardinal rule is never be the second out at third base. So Mitch Haniger will get on first. 2 men down now quickly here. Boy, this fast 10th inning. Does look like you got him out there. Crawford up to the plate. 2 men down. Haniger on first. Crawford 0 for 4 in this game. Strike. Nice slider there. Crawford's had a bunch of pitches in this game that are just well thrown. He's really had some tough pitches here that he's had to kind of deal with. Let's get a JP bomb here. That's what we need. 0-1. Foul back quickly. 0-2. Sector 7 says, nah, Undertakers sounds kind of cringe. I feel way better about it being Seattle or C-based. It's well enough. We'll figure out something here with them. Oh-2 here. Crawford's a tough guy to strike out. Ball down in the dirt. Ball 1. Oh, Big Country. Sorry about that, Big Country. It timed you out maybe there a little bit, Big Country. Make sure it didn't. Hopefully it didn't. Got to make sure it didn't ban him there, D-boy. Sometimes it bans him on the phone thing. All right, Crawford. 1-2. Hit up into the air. A lot of foul ground there in Oakland. He can't quite get there, but there is obviously a lot of area to play with there. Big Country, we had an accident. Yeah, we're good. I don't think he's in here. Oh, Wu-Tang Financial got put in there somehow. So, sorry. We got it figured out, though. It's all good, D-boy. Randall's done it to a ton of people over on the other side when he's had his phone in his pocket. 1-2. Hit on the line. Golly. Right at the shift. I mean, a lot of hard struck balls here by your Mariners the last inning and a half. Just can't find any holes. Sometimes the ball doesn't bounce your way. We'll get you back in here, Big Country. It just timed you out for a couple minutes, so it'll pull you back in here. Sector 7, how about the earthquake stabilizers? If anything, laughing at my earthquake stabilizers. It's not bad. Doesn't exactly roll off the tongue. Rob Terrell, Mujo's slider is so crazy when he hits a spot. Yeah, it's nigh unhittable, I think you could say. Andre Furman, let's go M's. Let's go M's. Deck's going to be a little bit stacked here now in this inning. Of course, they get a runner on second to start things off. You saw the Mariners there not able to play small ball. I again lament the fact that you get a guy up at the plate, runner on second, you need one run in extra innings, and the guy doesn't feel good enough to be able to so much as bunt the ball over. You have a guy in Jesse Winker who's hitting .230 on the year. You know, these modern hitters, and again, you want to talk about steroid fallout? You want to talk about, like, still the steroid arrow echoing through this age? This is also that here, where it's not cool bunting. It's only cool getting jacks. It's only cool putting the ball where I put it over the fence every swing. It's only cool where I'm swinging from my heels all the time. That's also where this starts to leave the game, and you can't play small ball anymore with certain guys. You can't lay a bunt down. We saw this with the Yankee-Mariner game a couple weeks ago that went 13 innings, and both teams had 5-6 times where if they just had one guy who could lay a bunt down, they would probably go and win that game so much earlier. But both teams showed neither's worked on that element of what they do. I don't understand it because laying a bunt's hard, but it's not that hard. Voodoo Magic says the painkillers because they know how to relieve. There you go. Big Country, tough inning, very unlucky. Yeah, just unlucky. I mean, and right there at the second baseman, that's a great. And Crawford's frustrated. He knows there because he put a great swing on that. Just that happens sometimes, you know. And again, these scouting reports from these teams, we've benefited from that in this game at times where, you know, you have the heat charts of where guys hit it from a tendency on their swing standpoint, and you can kind of lock in with your fielders into just the right precise location. So the Mariners are going to intentionally walk the opening batter of this inning in order to get first and second, a double play possibility here now. See if the Athletics can play a little bit of small ball with this situation. Diego Castillo in the game now. Andre Furman says, hope Diego doesn't bowl the game. He hasn't been very good against the A's. Yeah, we need him here. We need guys have been money so far for this bullpen. So you got Murphy up to the plate now. This is the one guy in the lineup who really can't hurt you. Diego gets him to 1-0. Libra Dragon, so nautical theme. How about the yard arms? I like that. Yard arms has a little bit of a nice phonetic quality to it. Diego always makes me nervous too. I don't know how he gets any control with that leg kick. Reminds me of Bobby Ayala. He gets it right there, though. Strike. 1-1. Sector, honestly, I think we're way better off naming our closers individually. Get some personal attachment to each. That could be a better way to go with it. I say, well, we're going to land. I think we'll just know when we land the name. We're like, oh, yeah, that's it. 1-1 delivery now. Low. 2-1. Can't walk him here, Diego. You do have to throw strikes here. Sector 7, how about the carrier runway ringers? That's a lot. Robert says, Castillo makes me nervous. He makes me nervous too. He does have to go around the bend to get there, doesn't he? Outside. 3-1 now. Boy, every Mariner reliever has come into this game, and with every guy they've started out with a three pitch ball count to them. Diego's going to have to give him a pitch to hit here. But no doubt Murphy's probably also going to be taken here, I would think, even though he's a middle of the order hitter here. And that's not even close. Bases loaded. And Service is going to make the change. Or Service is going out there to talk to Diego, I guess. Here we go. So let's see how they play it on the infield here. Probably going to have to play it up, actually, because your double play ball is going to score runs. So they're playing this up at the grass. The A's have done a good job in their lineup here. They know what they are in their lineup. These guys aren't guys swinging back heel. They're going to just try to park it. They understand. Just put a good swing, put a good stroke on it. Do what you can with the pitch. And it's been enough to get it done for them here today. Strike on the inside part of the plate. 0-1. Aaron Barra, 0 people out. So bases loaded, nobody out. Not looking good for your boys. And that's going to score one maybe here. That will score one. Diego cannot come up with it on the field. Bobbles the ball. It was going to be a close play at home play at that point. If he did come up with it, it was kind of hit up high. But that will indeed be ball game here as your Mariners do fall 4-3 to the Oakland A's. The series now ties up after taking the open one. So you look at this game and you go, Mariner lineup, I should see more than 3 runs out of you guys with this lineup out there right now. And the thing that's been what we saw at the post-All-Star break through a good couple of weeks was a very impatient Mariner lineup and guys not working counts and jumping first pitch way too often. And then when we've gotten back into a little bit more of a run now through the Astros-Yankees series, you got the Yankee series in, and now through a couple of the series, you've gotten yourself back to front with that a little bit more, where the patient element was coming back into play. I saw a lot more of the lineup today. Maybe it's just on the back of getting 10 runs out yesterday that everybody was feeling really super good and like, let's put another 10 on the board today. But a lot of guys swinging early in counts, swinging outside of the zone at pitches that they're not going to be able to do with anything with if they do make contact. Little bit of bad luck at the end because the bats got better as this game went along into the 8th, 9th inning, where you were seeing some solidly hit shots just right at players, and there's not a lot you can do about that. But I do contend the one place this lineup can control with. You see it at times where they show an ability to do it, which is just be a little more patient. Don't be scared to go a little bit deeper into counts. Don't constantly be looking to jump on that first pitch at every turn, especially again when the pitchers aren't exactly hammering necessarily the zone time after time again when they're throwing it out of the zone. The starting pitcher for the A's had 4 walks in this game. And you got to a lot of those walks where you might be 0-2, 1-2, and then you finally figured out, let me utilize a little patience and I'll get my walk here. So this Mariner lineup does need to try to drive that home for themselves as they go through this season. I think it gets a little bit hard for them here, though, as well, because as I was saying, this is a team that I think is top 5 in the sport in home runs. They haven't necessarily lived and died by the home run ball, but it's been a very big part of what their offensive success has come by. And if that is the case, that's a lot of guys swinging big to try to put that ball out. And that's now, it's that fine balance. Do I dial back those big swings and to increase a little bit more of my patience, to get a little more consistency with the run scoring, but maybe I lose a couple home runs on the side of that? And I would reckon that would be a smarter approach to maybe employ here a little bit. As I said, when you get into playoff baseball, it's not as much driven by who's hitting all of the home runs out the park through the order, who gets more home runs. It's sometimes who can just generate some runs. Diego came in rough today. He's had moments where he's been up and down this season at times, not as consistent as some of the other parts in this bullpen. But really, you should have been able to score more than 3 runs on this Oakland A's team with who was on the mound today. You just weren't able to get enough through on that from your lineup. Again, I come back to a little bit of some bad luck. Some of it's a little bit of approach in this particular game. Logan Gilbert pitched pretty well overall, I thought. Again, he's got some rough edges around his game versus where he was in this season when he was really rolling and a little more pinpoint in his control. Not pinpoint, but a little more exact. Not pinpoint. He was never a pinpoint guy this year, but just more exact in where he was locating his pitches at. And that's gone a little bit wild here as of recent. It was a little bit better today. So there was still elements of what we've seen, which is just far too many misses in the center of the plate when he is missing. But the control was a little more in line in this particular game from my standpoint of things. Let's see if he can continue to maybe build on this start and get himself back to front come playoff time, because we need him as one of the big 3 in this rotation if we do indeed make the playoffs, which the Mariners are still sitting on, I believe, somewhere at like 90% is where the playoff odds are. I believe that we do make the playoffs. So still, we got a loss today. Series is even up. You can go get another series win tomorrow with a win. And just keep stacking the series win. That's all we really need to do. We don't need infinite amount of wins through the course of the rest of this year. We just need to stack up series wins consistently, and we will be that number 1 seed in the playoffs going in. And as I say at that point, if you're healthy, if you have everybody on deck, anything can happen. Anything can happen. We need some chicken, maybe a little voodoo in baseball. We probably could use a rosary beads. I need somebody to get some rosary beads, some KFC, and one of those little statues, one of the little troll statues, and we'll get this lineup back to right. Wu-Tang, Ugly Baseball Amigos, we'll get them tomorrow. Service was outmanaged in this game, in my opinion. Yeah, maybe a bit. I got to give the A's manager a lot of credit. The way he utilized his bullpen in this game and played certain matchups and how he did that, you could definitely say he may have edged out Service in this game in that respect a bit. I could give that up. ATM, is tomorrow a day game 2? The less sun, the better after seeing the weird errors in this game. Yeah, no more 4 in the afternoon as the sun sets kind of games. I'm not sure of when the time is on it. I got to check on that one. It's 1 p.m. game tomorrow. So it won't be bad until we get to the later stages of the game when everything is at its most important time. D-Boy says, everyone, please go hit that like button on your way out. Yes, please do, everyone. Hit that like button on your way out. It does help the channel out tremendously. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for reminding me of that too, D-Boy. Big Country says, now we slid back to wild card number 2. Yep, series wins, very important. Sam the Great, I think the Cleveland's the only good team left on the schedule. Big Country says, at least we got Castillo on the mound tomorrow. A lot of good things. I love your encouragements here, guys. Yes, we got some encouraging spots. And Sam the Great, that's right. Cleveland is really the only tough scud team you got left on your schedule. You have a 2-game series against the Padres right in the middle of the month in September. But outside of that, Cleveland is it. This is a downhill run we've got through the rest of this year from a talent standpoint of what we're up against, especially considering, again, that the AL East, which has so many teams vying for these wild card spots, are going to be playing each other, are going to be theoretically kind of knocking each other down a bit, lowering each other's overall record at the end of the year, and maybe we can take advantage of that where we stand. We do got to take advantage of these lesser foes then when we get them. You've got a 44-77 athletic team. They're plucky. They're tryhards. But we should still be able to win this series. And again, Castillo goes tomorrow. Hopefully this lineup can wake back up with the bats a little bit. And if we come out of this you come out of these with every series win through the rest of this year, we will be the number 1 playoff seed, if not even potentially better at that point. So let's stay encouraged. Let's stay positive. This Mariner team still has a lot of time left to work with this year, and we've got a lot of potential here remaining. And Sam the Great, I forgot about the San Diego one too. It's only 2 games though, so it's not even a full series. Do we even count that at that point? Oh, Big Country, we do have a 3-game series versus the Braves. So we got there's a little bit of juice. But geez, there's still 40 days of baseball left to only have 3 teams you're mentioning of. That means you got quite a good, easy schedule through the rest of it. Well, thank you, folks. I appreciate you tuning in and watching. For my people that are interested in the football side of this, we'll be back on this tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time over on my Hawks Nest channel. Please do subscribe on this side of it. Hit that like button. And please don't ever forget, even on days where we lose, don't forget, Mariners are going to bounce back. We're taking this series tomorrow. Castillo, the ace, the stopper, the man who sutures the bleeding, is to return to the mound tomorrow. And we get to watch more of his greatness, which is phenomenal. He is awesome to watch work on the hill. Thank you guys for all the great discussion. Appreciate everybody being so kind in the chat. And please keep in mind, never forget, never, ever, ever forget. Go Mariners.